Sunday afternoon, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Miller Park roof is open, the sun is out, having a little fun out in the parking lots, and we are ready for baseball this afternoon. It's the final game of the series. The Colorado Rockies out of the National League West and the Brew Crew. The Brewers right now a game back of the Cubs, 3 back in the loss column. The Cubs have the San Diego Padres today. Cubs are going for a sweep of the Padres. Brewers going for a sweep of the Rockies with a win today. Pitching matchup this afternoon. Left-hander Wade Miley gets the ball for the Brewers. It'll be his 7th start. John Gray on the mound for Colorado. He's been good since coming back from the minor leagues. And hi, everybody. With that, we welcome you from our booth here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Minnaert in just a moment. A lot of ways you could go with the ball club right now. The Brewers are playing well. They've won the first 2 games in this series. Their lineup looks very good right now, and the guy leading the charge is Christian Yelich.
Yeah, unbelievable. He's hitting 23 of 25 games, and nobody's really getting him out. I mean, left-handers have had a lot of problems against Yelich. He's hitting near 370, on-base percentage over 400. One of the reasons is that he's in the lineup just about every day. Craig Counsell has been trying to find days to give him off, but he's just too hot. You see what he's been able to do. 13 doubles. The OPS has been off the charts. Christian Yelich has been in the middle of just about every one of these Brewer rallies. Outstanding work by the Brewers center fielder, left fielder, right fielder. He plays all over the place, but wherever he plays, he's hitting.
He is a first-time All-Star this year. He's had great success against his mound opponent today, John Gray. 6 hits, including a home run, and 6 runs batted in. Yelich back in the lineup this afternoon. So Yelich was certainly one of the premier pickups, premier transactions this offseason. An under-the-radar pickup was Wade Miley. And for more on his story, we check in with Sophia Minnaert. Good afternoon, Sophia.
Thanks, guys. You're absolutely right. And it was a slow start to the season for Wade Miley, considering he had to battle 2 injuries right away. One he suffered in spring training with the groin strain, and then came back and suffered an oblique strain. But since then, he has been great for the Brewers. He has a 2-1 record, the earned run average under 2, and even better, he's coming off of his best start of the season. His 6th start overall, but against the Dodgers, it was 7 shutout innings. He gave up just 2 hits, 2 walks, and had 5 strikeouts in an impressive performance. The team would go on to win 1-0. So Wade Miley spoke with me about what he had going in that outing at Dodger Stadium.
I mean, I think a lot of it had to do with getting ahead with the curveball. I was using the curveball to get ahead a lot in LA, and I think it just made my cutter and fastball a little bit better. And then I still had the changeup to throw to that side of the plate as well. So, I mean, the curveball played a huge key in the success from the last outing for sure, no doubt about it.
Wade Miley hasn't faced the Rockies since 2014, but the Brewers have been great against Colorado. They've won 7 of their last 8, and going for the series sweep here this afternoon at Miller Park. It would be their first sweep since 2016. First pitch coming up next.
That's back there. Home run, Christian Yelich. And that's high and deep to right field. A game-winning home run, Eric Daines. It's a high fly ball to right field. That's got a chance. And how about a grand slam? Now Perez sends one deep into left center. That's way back. And this one is out of here. Brewers win. And they win the first 2 games of this series. And now we turn our attention to this final game of the series Sunday afternoon. The Brewers going after their 7th sweep of the year. They are 5-1 against the Colorado Rockies. They're also 19-7 against the National League West. John Gray on the mound for the Rockies, and Wade Miley gets the ball for the Brewers. His 7th start in a Brewers uniform this year. We got baseball coming up next. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best, Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite, great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Thanks, Renee. Wade Miley back on the Miller Park mound after a gem of a performance in Los Angeles his last time out. He's only given up 2 earned runs over his last 18 innings. And he'll take that hot streak to the mound today against the Colorado Rockies on a warm, sunny Sunday afternoon in Milwaukee. Potawatomi batting order for the Rocks today. It's Blackman, LeMahieu, and Arenado. Story, Gonzalez, and Desmond. Pat Valleca gets his first start. Tom Murphy behind the plate. John Gray rounds it out. And we're ready to play ball here as Miley deals the first pitch. It is in there for a strike, and away we go. Adrian Johnson calling the balls and strikes this afternoon. Brian O'Nora, Trip Gibson, Ryan Additon, the base umpires, and Miley gets ahead of Blackman quickly, 0-2. Final game of this 3-game series. Brewers will have an off day tomorrow. They'll welcome in the San Diego Padres Tuesday. 0-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. What a start for Wade Miley. 3 pitches, his first strikeout of the game.
Yep, and a good two-seam fastball right there. Start number 7, 2-1. Look at the earned run average at 153. Has not allowed a home run. Outstanding his last time out against the Dodgers. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs in a 1-0 victory for the Brewers over the Dodgers.
Likes to pitch quickly. He will be patient with the hitters as they dig into the box and they try to disrupt that timing. But once it's go time and once the hitter's in the box, Miley is ready to fire. And he uses that tempo to his advantage, much like Brent Suter. Miley's been doing that since his college days. Had a nice sit down with Sophia talking about his tempo and how he uses that to help him. And there's a good changeup.
Yeah. And he had everything working for him against the Dodgers, particularly the cut fastball. Working in on the right-handed batters for the Dodgers. Good changeup, pulling his head way out in front.
1-2 the count on DJ LeMahieu. And that one's on the ground. Yikes, that comes up and hits Moustakas in the face. Boy, a nasty hop. That's going to go as an infield hit. Let's hope Moustakas is all right. That was wicked.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to see a lot of activity over there at third base.
Oh.
And with that cutter from Wade Miley, Moustakas is very busy in his last start against LA.
He says he's all right. That was scary. That's up another couple of inches. That is going to do some damage. It was interesting as Nolan Arenado came up to the plate here. He looked at Miley as if to say, I know what you're going through over there at the hot corner. He's got a big welt already on his chest. So that's an infield hit for LeMahieu. And here is Nolan Arenado now with a runner at first and 1 away. Arenado has reached base just once in this series, was hit by a pitch. He's 0 for his last 9. Top 3 in the batting order for the Rockies. Their best 3 hitters, Blackmon, LeMahieu, and Arenado, have combined to go 3 for 22, make it 3 for 24 now. Brewers have done a good job with that top of the order.
That's how you beat any team, really. You get the top of the order, you control them, and pretty much you got the game in hand, but you don't figure you're going to be able to control these guys for very long. I mean, they're too good at hitters. So far, so good for this Brewers pitching staff.
Hoping to get them out of town before they get hot. Rockies also in a pennant race. They had a flip-flop in the National League West as of yesterday with Arizona and Los Angeles. The Diamondbacks are now up a game on the Dodgers, and then the Rockies are 3 back of Arizona despite losing 4 in a row. There's that changeup again, and Arenado out in front of it. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, he's got a good changeup going early.
Yes, he does. Good arm action on it. He's got that straight change working. 80 miles an hour. The fastball at about 88, 89 miles an hour for Wade Miley. And he holds runners pretty well. Very good at keeping these guys close.
Was with the Orioles last year. Led the league in walks last season. Said he made a mechanical fix this offseason. And a swing and a miss. He goes right back to the change. Arenado strikes out. And Miley has 2 punch-outs in this first inning.
Now let's check out the Brewers defense. You got Ryan Braun in left, Christian Yelich in center, no Lorenzo Cain today. Day off for him. Eric Thames out in right field. Moustakas, Arcia, Scope, and Shaw from third to first. Travis Shaw gets his second start at first base this year, and Eric Kratz behind home plate.
Brewers have a bench today of Cain, Pena, Perez, and Aguilar. Shaw very comfortable at first base. He prefers first base. Of all the positions that he has played, that's where he'd like to settle at some point, but certainly understands where the Brewers are in their personnel. Jesus Aguilar gets the day off today. And again, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but every day the Brewers are going to have some thunder coming off the bench. Swinging a foul back by Trevor Story. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. He's been the hot bat in this series. He has homered 3 times, a multi-homer game yesterday, and he made things interesting with a 2-run home run in the 9th inning last night. 23 homers, 75 RBIs, and he is an excellent glove man at the shortstop position.
Yeah, very good fastball hitter.
Curveball in there for a strike. 1-2 the count. Miley now 31 years of age. His 7th start. Spent some time on the disabled list, most notably with that oblique strain. He was a non-roster invitee to spring training, so he was signed to a minor league contract and then an NRI to Major League camp. Had a groin strain in spring training in the 3rd week of spring training, but he showed enough prior to that where the Brewers made the commitment to Miley. He did have an opt-out clause in spring training. They could have lost him, and it's tough to make a roster commitment to a guy who's injured, but he showed enough in those first 3 weeks where they figured he'd be a valuable piece in their rotation. I don't think anybody expected this kind of success, though.
Yeah, he's really been good since he's come off the disabled list. 4 starts in July and a 157 earned run average.
2-2 pitch. Story fouls it away.
Yeah, Brewers are counting on him being in the rotation. They weren't sure how they wanted to use Brent Suter at that time. You knew that Suter was going to be on the ball club, whether it's going to be a starter or work him out of the bullpen, but that question was answered when Miley got hurt.
Well, he pitched just 6 1/3 innings in the first 3+ months of the season. Now he's been a regular in that rotation. He's making his 7th start for the Brewers. But this is his 5th start since coming back from the injury. That one just missed.
Yeah, that's that cut fastball that was so effective against Los Angeles. The Dodgers were chasing that pitch. That pitch that was just a little bit off the inside corner. This time Story able to let it go.
3-2 is the count. That'll give LeMahieu a head start. Reached on a bad hop single. And the 3-2 is grounded foul. I've been watching Mike Moustakas ever since that wicked hop got him in the neck chest area. He has not rubbed that spot once. It's kind of a tough guy thing, right? Don't rub it.
Don't rub it. Don't let him see it hurts.
The welt there on his neck. Do it again. Another 3-2 pitch. Runner goes and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Wade Miley strikes out the side. He's got a great changeup going early. Yelich, Thames, and Moustakas ready to get the Brewers started. Colorado draft pick. And Craig Counsell's lineup today, courtesy of Potawatomi, has Christian Yelich leading off again. Kane has the day off. Eric Thames, after that walk-off homer on Friday night, he's back in there hitting second, with Moustakas hitting third. Shaw, Braun, and Scope in the middle, with Kratz, Arcia, and Miley rounding out the Potawatomi batting order for Milwaukee today. John Gray on the mound for the Rockies. Had a trip to the minor leagues. Since he has come back, Rocky has been outstanding for Bud Black and the Rockies.
Yeah, 3-0 since his return from the minor leagues and a 166 earned run average in 3 starts. And before he got sent down, you know, he was getting hit pretty hard. That earned run average continues to fall. You can see the big strikeout numbers for John Gray.
Facing the hottest hitter in the big leagues right now in Christian Yelich, the reigning National League Player of the Week, and he is making a strong case for Player of the Week this week as well. Yelich in the air, left center field, on the run, Blackman. He's at the wall. This is going to be caught. It is Desmond who reaches up and makes the catch. Takes an extra base hit away from Christian Yelich.
Wasn't even watching Desmond, was watching Charlie Blackman go back, and then all of a sudden Desmond comes in, making a leaping catch up against the wall. There's that guy again. Boys, he's swinging the bat well. I mean, he's going to the opposite field extremely well. That's one of the reasons why that batting average is what it is. All of a sudden Desmond comes in. I guess he called him off. Blackman gave up on it, and well, somebody made it anyway.
That was a good catch. It would not have been out. It would have been an extra base hit off the top of the wall. Nice play by Desmond, who started at first base last night. Gets the call in left field today. Here is Eric Thames now with one away. Well, what a memory he produced last time he was in the box at Miller Park.
Man.
Friday night, 9th inning. Brewers trailing by a run. Hit a 3-run walk-off home run.
Yeah, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th.
A big swing and a miss by Thames. Eric's hit 15 home runs now. He missed 7 weeks of the season with a thumb injury, with that required surgery. 2-2. Colorado has been walked off 3 times on this road trip. They've only won 1 game on their current trip. That was John Gray who won that game. That one's in the air to left field. It's going to hang up for Desmond. And 2 men are out.
Now let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win. We got 4 lefties in the starting lineup for the Brewers here tonight. All 4 of them in 1 through 4 in the batting order. John Gray's allowed 12 home runs, 9 of them to left-handed batters. And talking about 5-3, we're talking about Wade Miley. He got 7 outs against the Dodgers to third base. So that cutter in, right-handers typically going to pull it. We've already seen one of them, and Gray has the big fastball, and he's got a terrific slider.
Mike Moustakas with 2 away in the first. Moustakas with a couple of RBIs as a Brewer. That's a pop-up behind the plate. This is going to be playable for Murphy, and that will retire the side. So Gray had a narrow miss from Christian Yelich, retires the side in order in the first.
Series finale between the Brewers and the Rockies here at Miller Park on Sunday afternoon. No score as we head to the second inning. And before today's game, the Brewers have added some depth to their bullpen. The news just before the game started that they have claimed right-handed reliever Jordan Lyles off of waivers from the San Diego Padres. He's a 27-year-old right-handed reliever. He was drafted in 2008 in the first round by the Houston Astros, made his major league debut in 2011. He did make 8 starts for the Padres this year, but has pitched primarily out of the bullpen in 24 appearances. Pitched just over 24 innings, had a 3.33 earned run average, and was limiting hitters to just a 200 average. So the Padres are actually coming in here after their series finale at Wrigley in Chicago. So he'll be activated likely Tuesday or Wednesday.
All right, Sophia, thank you. And he will pitch out of the bullpen, but he is a swing man. He can go into the starting rotation if need be. Has all 4 pitches.
Yep, started with the Astros, spent some time with these Rockies, last 2 seasons with San Diego. You can't have enough arms down in that bullpen.
Wade Miley back to work in this second inning, pitching quickly as he does.
And again, he is a guy that can give you a start if need be, maybe a couple.
3 balls and a strike on Carlos Gonzalez leading off the second. And that's ball 4. First walk issued by Miley.
Not sure if the Brewers are going to go with a 5-man rotation, though. They got so many off days in August and September. You can pretty much get by with only 4. We'll see how they play it. But all those off days finally stacking up for the Brewers after this long stretch, 17 straight after the All-Star break. So you go 4 starters, you add another guy to the bullpen. If that's what they do, they can.
47 games remaining after today, and they'll have 9 off days in the middle of that 47 game window. That's a heavy off day laden schedule. There's a ground ball up the middle. Scopes got it, fired to Arcia, and Arcia drops the ball. Safe is the call. I think Arcia is claiming he was trying to get the ball out of his glove to make a throw. Second base umpire Trip Gibson not buying that, and everybody's safe. Yeah,
kind of an awkward play. A good job up the middle just to have an opportunity to get the out at second base. Scope goes behind. Arcia goes in front. Let's see if he ever has it. Yeah, he got it. I mean, it looks like he's trying to get it out of his glove to make a throw. Question is his foot on the bag? Quick counsel satisfied they got it right.
Yeah, his foot's never on the bag until there, and the ball's already out. So no challenge. Would have been a great play. Instead, it's first and second with nobody out. And here is Pat Valleca now showing bunt. Bunts it in the air. Miley slides and makes the play. Wow. Athletic play by the Brewer pitcher. With the speedy Valleca on the run.
He was thinking about catching that in the air and maybe getting a triple play. Who knows? Right up in the air. You see the runners taking off. They see it hit the ground, and Miley able to get the out at first.
It's a heck of a play by Wade Miley. Put out goes 1-3. It is a sacrifice bunt, but a way out of this inning for Miley. He's got the 8th place hitter up now, and Tom Murphy, pitcher, due next. You don't normally see bunts from position players anyway, but especially bunts from position players down at the bottom of the order.
Right, 8-9 coming up. Well, Bud Black probably wants to get a lead, as they've been few and far between in this series. Fell behind quickly yesterday.
Now the Brewers have led first in both games of this series. Colorado did have a lead in game 1, setting up the dramatic walk-off by Thames. One ball, one strike. Rockies threatening in the second inning. Tom Murphy at the plate. He was up in the 9th last night with the bases loaded and struck out. Got some power, though. Only 87 plate appearances. Not a big sample size in the big leagues. He's a big, strong catcher that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. This is his second start of this series, Murphy. Iannetta started the middle game. Here's a 1-2 and a swing and a miss. He struck him out.
That cutter right there. Good location on it. Inside corner, and Murphy right over the top of it. Check it out. Look at Kratz setting up, and Miley hits the glove. Perfect pitch. Just when you think he's going to go change up, he busts you inside with that cut fastball. That's the pitch right there that gets a lot of ground balls at third base.
Well, there's a lot to decipher right there for a hitter. 5 pitches and heavy usage of all the primary off-speed pitches, the changeup, the cutter, the curve. Well, he's got the pitcher at the plate, John Gray, who does have 3 hits this year, as an RBI this season. And a slow roller out to third base. Moustakas makes the play to end the inning. And the Rockies strand a pair. 2 scoreless for Miley. Brewers coming up bottom second. Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. Sunday afternoon at Miller Park, Travis Shaw, who had the big hit yesterday, the grand slam in the first inning, part of a 6-run first inning. Travis Shaw with the 2nd grand slam of his career and the 2nd grand slam for the Brewers this season. Powerball home run number 21. Notably, that home run for Travis Shaw was the first off a left-handed pitcher this season, and came at a perfect time for the Brewers to get off to a fast start. It was 1-0 when Shaw hit that grand slam. Ended up being a 6-run inning. He and Hernan Perez hit back-to-back home runs.
Yeah, Brewers ended up winning 8-4, but the Rockies had Charlie Blackmon up at the plate with the bases loaded in the 9th inning. Brewers able to hold on. Kind of a nail biter at the end, though.
Yeah, the Rockies did bring the tying run to the plate in the 9th with 1 away. Soria and Hader able to finish it off. Hader got the save, his 8th of the year. Brewers bullpen's in great shape, though. They've got an off day tomorrow, so all hands on deck today again. They'll have all of their A relievers ready to go. Shaw in the air to right center. That's got a chance to fly. That one is up and gone. Travis Shaw. Another home run. His 22nd of the year. And it's 1-0 Brew Crew in the 2nd inning.
he hits them in bunches, and maybe this is the start of a nice stretch for Travis. Christian Yelich just did miss a home run, a curveball, a hanger, and Shaw rides it out of here up into the Toyota territory at Miller Park. Brewers have the long ball bats going in this series.
No doubt. Travis Shaw now 66 RBIs. Here's Braun on the first pitch. Shaw's homering as a third baseman, a second baseman, a first baseman, wherever you put him on the field. I think Travis actually likes the idea of being a versatile defender for this team. He has really embraced the idea of playing second base, even though it's out of his comfort zone. And today he gets to start at first base. Puts the Brewers on the board quickly.
Just give me 4 or 5 at bats. It doesn't matter. I mean,
Right.
He's going to play anywhere that he's asked. He does a good job wherever he's put. Say that about a lot of these Brewers. Greg Count's going to move them all around before it's all said and done.
1 ball, 1 strike. Braun on the ground. That's 3. Base hit. Gets by Valleca. Braun thinking about 2. And an aggressive turn around first. He'll settle for a single. Braun rewarded with a spot back in the starting lineup today, and he has responded with a single in his first at bat.
Yeah, the hard hit ball is starting to find holes. A lot of line drives for outs before this homestand, but now they're starting to find their way into the outfield. This one off the glove of Valleca. Another base hit for Brawny.
2 hits yesterday, including a home run. And back-to-back hits to start the inning against Gray. Here is Jonathan Scope. Those numbers from his time in Baltimore to start the year. Has 1 hit as a Brewer, 16 plate appearances. That hit came as part of that 6-run first inning yesterday. Had a single to right center.
His first RBI last night as a Brewer.
Scope back in a comfortable spot defensively today, playing second base. Almost made a terrific play. There's a shot to short. Going to turn into a double play, though. Hit it right on the nose, but right at the shortstop Story, and that wipes out the Braun single as it goes 6-4-3.
Yeah, Brewers made some pretty good contact off of John Gray early on here today. Actually, that base hit for Scope yesterday was not an RBI single. Got ahead of myself.
Did have a single, just didn't drive in a run. Had the wrong guy trying to score from second. But that set up the grand slam by Shaw. Here's Eric Kratz with 2 away. Jam shot. Broke his bat. Little pop up to first. And that will retire the side. But Travis Shaw does it again. Grand slam of the first inning last night. Second inning home run here today, and Shaw with 22 on the season. The mayor of Ding Dong City is back on a home run binge.
look at yesterday's outing for Corey Kluber, a complete game shutout. He gave up just 3 hits, 7 strikeouts for him on 98 pitches, his 7th career shutout and his 6th since 2016. The Indians beating the Angels there at Progressive Field.
All right, Sophia, thank you. There's a first pitch swing by Charlie Blackmon, flies to left, and Braun puts it away for out number 1. And Corey Kluber, the best slider in the game, known as the Klubot. Brewers got him here in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Remember, Brent Suter homered off Corey Kluber.
Yeah, that was the game that Wade Miley started. Got hurt, didn't last very long.
Sales on the DL currently, not expected to be serious. Verlander continues to impress as he has resurrected his career with Houston. Blake Snell, the all-star with the Tampa Bay Rays. ERA leaders in the American League. Cleveland right now is the front runner in their division, 9-game lead over Minnesota. Boston has an 8.5-game lead over the Yankees. Astros are up 5 on the A's in the AL. In the National League, it's the Phillies, the Cubs, and the Diamondbacks leading the divisions, with the Brewers just 1 back of the Cubs, 3 back in the loss column. Brewers have played 4 more games than Chicago. And the Brewers are playing good baseball right now.
Yeah, they are.
Ground ball to third, backing up on it, Moustakas. Long throw is a good one. And LeMahieu is retired.
Well, that's 2 ground balls to third with Miley out there. One of them went off the chest of Moustakas. This one a little easier for him. The curveball down and in. Well, LeMahieu rolls over on it, and relatively easy play for Moustakas.
Moustakas with that tremendous throwing arm. Now there is a reason why Arcia and Moustakas make up the left side of the infield today, with Miley getting a lot of ground balls that way. It's a very good defensive unit on the field in the infield. Scope is a plus defender at second. Shaw is always excellent wherever he plays. Expecting ground balls today. Arenado beats the shift. Hits it through the vacated hole on the right side. And Nolan Arenado's first hit of this series snaps an 0 for 10.
And you know what? You can have 3 more of those if he wants, as long as you keep in the ballpark. If he wants to just shoot it that way, that's what the Brewers will give him. Wait, this guy can drive the ball out of the ballpark. That's a good changeup. Struck him out on a changeup his first time up. This time Arenado making the adjustment and then dumping it out there into center field.
Well, in this series, we have 2 of the best hitters in baseball against left-handed pitchers in Arenado and Christian Yelich. Matter of fact, Arenado is hitting over 400 against lefties. That's the best batting average in all of Major League Baseball. 1 for 2 today against Miley. Yelich up over 360 against left-handers. Trevor Story with a man on. Strike 1.
And keep the ball down on this guy. Hit a home run last night off of Matt Albers on a slider that was down the middle.
On the ground to third, right at Moustakas. And the 3rd ground ball out to third base already for Wade Miley. Moustakas gobbling him up. 3 scoreless in the books for Miley.
special theme night ticket package. You get a seat to the game plus a Corey Knebel King of the North bobblehead. Learn more at brewers.com/theme nights.
Winter is coming, Rock. Here's Orlando Arcia to start it for the Brew Crew. First ball swinging, chopper to third. Arenado makes the play for out number 1. The third baseman in this game are going to be busy today, it would appear. One out for Wade Miley, taking his time. Arcia with a quick at bat. Yeah, Tuesday will be Game of Thrones night. That'll be the first of the series against San Diego after an off day tomorrow. This game will conclude a stretch of 17 in a row coming out of the All-Star break with a West Coast trip thrown in there. Yeah. The Brewers have held up well.
8-game trip out west. Giants, Dodgers went 5-3.
Miley, one of those wins in LA, 7 innings against the Dodgers.
Craig Counsell in the first part of the season was, looking at those 2 stretches, 21 games in 20 days and then the All-Star break 17 in a row, and he felt as though if they get through that looking pretty good, they are in pretty good shape, and they certainly have been able to weather that storm. That's a lot of games stacked up. Guys have played hard. They really have, and Craig Counsell very pleased with the effort.
Got a key road trip coming next after this homestand ends. It'll be a 3-city trip. Miley on the ground to LeMahieu, former Gold Glover, and there is out number 2. Now the next road trip will be a test. Playing contenders throughout. You got the Braves, the Cubs, and the Cardinals. 2-game series against the Cubs in Chicago, but there are off days mixed in through that road trip, that 3-city trip, so that does help when you're trying to set up your pitching. Back to the top of the order, Christian Yelich. 2 outs, nobody on in the third, and Yelich, who almost hit 1 out his last time up, batting for the 2nd time. The league's top hitter at .325. He's 2nd in runs scored. 78 runs scored, and an OPS that is on the rise. He's at .929 when you combine the on-base percentage and the slugging percentage.
You're not just talking about dribblers through the infield. He's driving the baseball.
Putting together MVP caliber numbers. The Brewers have a couple of guys in that discussion. Even though Jesus Aguilar has cooled somewhat since the All-Star break, he still has big numbers. Still among league leaders in homers and RBIs.
And he'll get hot again. It's been a rough go for him since the All-Star break.
1-2 to Yelich. Pop up foul and out of play.
Craig Counsell has been giving him days off here and there, trying to keep him fresh. It's going to be a challenge too. I mean, all these guys deserve the playing time. It's going to be very fascinating to watch how he uses everybody.
Here's a 1-2, and Yelich a foul tip, stays alive.
Kane and Aguilar getting the day off, and you really don't weaken yourself too much, do you? You still have some pretty good hitters in that lineup.
Well, the Brewers, with their new additions, Moustakas and Scope, they boast strong platoons in a number of areas. They can mix and match depending on fly ball or ground ball pitcher on the mound. So they have a very flexible roster with which to work now, and I would imagine that at this point of the season, fewer than 50 games left, everybody's buying in. Nobody's demanding everyday at bats at this point. Yelich, a swing and a miss, down he goes on strikes, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for John Gray. 3 in the books, 1-0 Brew Crew. We go to the 4th.
inning. And talking to Wade Miley, he says a key for him in his successful outings, like his most recent one against the Dodgers, 7 shutout innings, is the tempo with how he works. He says he's always liked to work fast. He said it feels it keeps the defense on his toes. He feels, and the quicker that we can get our offense to hit, he said, even better. And I talked to manager Craig Counsell about that. He said it's certainly a fine line, similar to how Brent Suter operates as well. He says at times they can work too fast where they can get themselves in trouble. That may lead to some of the walks that have plagued Wade Miley at times. So he said it's about controlling intent on each pitch, and he and pitching coach Derek Johnson have been working on cues to help him slow down each pitch, and that's really helped him overall with his rhythm and his tempo.
And again, I mean, that's why you see, you know, the Rockies have been stepping out on him a little bit, slowing him down, maybe taking him out of his good rhythm. And we talk about that a lot with Brent Suter, but he doesn't mind it. He likes it. He knows that that's getting into their heads. And notice that really, it was really obvious with LeMahieu up last time, the way he was stepping out after each pitch.
Carlos Gonzalez rips one into the gap in left center field. That is going to hit the top of the wall. Up with it is Yelich throwing to second base. Not in time. Gonzalez with a double. And very nearly a home run. Just missed a home run by a foot or so. His hitting streak is alive. Carlos Gonzalez is hitting 7 straight. He's been on twice.
Yeah, left that curveball up in the zone, and Gonzalez doing a good job going with it. It was away, but it was up. It's not where you want to leave it, and Gonzalez makes him pay. He rips one off the top of the wall. A mistake curveball, and Gonzalez able to get into second base.
So it's a leadoff double. 3rd hit for the Rockies. And here is Ian Desmond on the ground to short. Arcia gobbles it up. Out number 1.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're scoring with us, the play in the 2nd inning, the Desmond ground ball to second, that was scored as a fielder's choice and an E6. So remember the play at second base, Scope ranged over and then threw back to Arcia. That's a tough call, tough error on Arcia.
Yeah, it is a tough error. That wasn't a routine play. And you know, the throw has kind of had some firmness to it, and then after he caught it, he had to find the bag.
So if you're wondering why there are only 3 hits on the board, that is why. Big crowd on hand today, enjoying the sunshine. At least half of them are. That's the beauty of Miller Park. You can take your pick. If you want to sit in the sun, you have that option, or if you want to sit in the shade, you have that option as well. Valleca right off the end of the bat, 0-2 to count. Sun Smart. You bring one of those and go anywhere you want. Most functional ballpark in America, Miller Park. Serving your needs since 2001. No balls, 2 strikes to count on Valleca. In the air to left field. And Braun is over to make the play. Gonzalez is going to tag. Throw comes in late. Cut off. 2nd out of the inning. And 2 away with a runner at 3rd base.
Yeah, the at-bat that was most important this inning, obviously, that at-bat to Ian Desmond. He was not able to get Gonzalez over to 3rd base. First pitch, he hit a ground ball to short. And that's what allows Miley to potentially get out of this inning without a run scoring. And they're going to walk Murphy.
With the pitcher coming up. Intentional walk will put him at the corners. For the pitcher coming up, John Gray.
'24th time that Craig Counsell's used the intentional walk this year. One of the fewest totals in the NL. You know, the Miami Marlins have intentionally walked batters 56 times.
Oh, wow.
That leads the league.
Well, you see it a lot more in the National League with the pitcher in the picture. And this would be the most common usage of that intentional walk.
Houston Astros have intentionally walked batters 3 times.
Yeah, don't need it in the AL, right?
Plus, they got guys that they know they can get anybody out.
good point.
3 intentional walks. That's amazing. The Marlins and the Reds the most in the National League.
Nice play back there by Eric Kratz. Miley again facing the pitcher Gray at the plate with 2 on. Gray grounded out in the 2nd inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd. And there's a ground ball foul. 1-2 the count now. Curveball got him. A dandy. Miley with the strikeout. The Rocky Strand 2 more. A little strategy employed, and Miley gets through the inning scoreless.
Watches, this one's gonna fly! A game-winning home run! Eric Dames, 3-run blast! Brewers win! The Brewers win a thriller!
My goodness.
With a little Ric Flair to top it off.
I mean, that pretty much says it all, doesn't it? I mean, the interview, that's all you need to hear to tell you what he's thinking right there. And
that was a great moment here at Miller Park. They've had 8 walk-offs this year, 4 walk-off home runs this season. Have the 2nd most walk-off moments of the year in the major leagues. Only the Cardinals have more. And Eric Dames ready to lead off in the 4th. That was his 2nd career walk-off home run. He did the trick last year. That was a memorable moment for Eric Dames as well. But that one last night, down a run, down to their last out. Back on Friday night, I should say. 3-run home run to win the game.
that would have been a good way to just end that interview.
Yeah, just let him walk in, right?
What more is there to say?
0-2 the count on Thames. 1-0 Brewers here in the 4th. And Thames a strikeout victim. Down he goes. Gray's starting to dial it in a little bit now. He has retired 6 in a row and has struck out the last 2 hitters. Those are his first 2 Ks of the game.
And it's interesting, his strikeout totals are down. They were down in the month of July after he came back from his AAA demotion, but he's been winning games. And before that, he had big strikeout numbers, but wasn't pitching very well. So maybe learning that, you know, pitching to contact isn't such a bad thing.
Mike Moustakas now with 1 away. Moustakas with 7 hits as a Brewer. Does have a couple of RBIs. Joined the ball club in Los Angeles. And the first big trade deadline deal that the Brewers made. Trade deadline was last Tuesday. So it's been less than a week in a Brewers uniform for Moustakas. Feels like he's been around here the whole season. Does have a couple of hits in this series. He's 2 for 5. Drove in a run in the opener.
Yeah, great guy to have down the stretch in August and September, right? Moustakas has been right in the mix. A couple of years with Kansas City, back-to-back World Series appearances, and there's no replacing that kind of experience in that clubhouse.
He and Jonathan Scope both have performed in the postseason. Scope with the O's and Moustakas with the Royals. In the air to center field. Routine for Charlie Blackmon, and out number 2. That'll bring up Travis Shaw. Launched a home run out of here in the second inning. It came as a leadoff man in the second. StatCast AI powered by Amazon Web Services. Left the bat at 100 miles an hour. Hit it 423 feet.
Launch angle 28 degrees. What was it last night? 40 something?
Yeah, 43-degree launch angle on the Grand Slam last
Big time uppercut.
I think he hit that ball at an apex of about 150 feet. I think is what I saw last night. I mean, that is way up there. That Grand Slam he hit in the first inning yesterday. Shaw had a wrist injury that he tried to play through. Always difficult with a hitter, especially a power hitter, to do your job with a wrist or hand injury. He says he's fine now. He's worked through it. Gives the Brewers athletic training staff a lot of credit for helping him get through it. Gray with a strikeout rings the bell on the outside corner, and 3 up and 3 down with 2 more Ks for John Gray.
Park. And once again this season, Brewers Community Foundation has partnered with its players, coaches, wives, alumni, and other team personnel to continue the Beyond the Diamond campaign, a series of community outreach events benefiting the areas of health, education, recreation, and basic needs throughout the greater Milwaukee area.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Great project we stand behind. Here we go to the 5th inning. 1-0 Brewers as we play in the top of the 5th. Blackmon on the ground to Shaw. And out number 1, Johnny Blackmon is 0 for 3 today against Wade Miley. And the ground balls keep coming from the Brewer left-hander.
Pitching staff, as we talked about, before, early in the game, they've done a heck of a job against the top of this Rockies batting order. If you control these guys, you have a pretty good chance of winning. Of course, there's still a long way to go, but so far so good, keeping those guys off base.
Miley with 4 strikeouts. Had those 4 Ks in the first 5 outs of his outing today. Has 6 ground ball outs. LeMahieu's hit the ball to third twice. The first one looked like it was headed as a ground ball out, but then took a bad hop and hit the lip or something and came up and hit Moustakas right in the upper chest around the neck.
Yeah, had some vicious top spin on it. Took that big hop and came up on him.
So the 3 hits for the Rockies, 2 of them have been of the infield variety. Arenado's ball did go into the outfield grass, but it was a routine ground ball to second. Unfortunately, the Brewers had a shift on. Hard hit ball though by Gonzalez in the 4th. Almost hit it out of here. Hit a double off the wall. But only 3 hits allowed. LeMahieu, a former batting champion in the National League. And Miley misses down and in. 2-2 the count.
And one thing you'd say about Wade Miley, the cutter's been a little bit less on the corners than it was against the Dodgers, but when he's missing in off the plate. You don't want to leave it out over the plate. You don't want to leave that pitch down the middle.
That's driven down the right field line. That is a fair ball to the wall. And LeMahieu on his way to second base with a double. Good piece of hitting there with 2 strikes.
And four-seamer right down the middle. Mistake. Made a mistake on the curveball to Gonzalez. He doubled off the wall. Mistake right there with 2 strikes. Check it out. Supposed to be in. Look where it ends up. Leaks over the heart of the plate. 93. LeMahieu rips it down the right field line.
So LeMahieu reaches with 1 away. Now Nolan Arenado. Brewers play it straight up now with Arenado at the plate. Had a shift on for him his last time up. Put 3 infielders on the left side, and then he just played a little pepper with a Miley changeup. Served it into right center.
And now with a man at second base, Jonathan Scope can't do that. He's got to play a little bit more where you would expect the second baseman to be in an effort to keep LeMahieu close at the bag.
Miley had a long streak going without giving up an extra base hit. That double by Carlos Gonzalez broke that streak, which ended at 19 1/3 innings without an extra base hit. 2 doubles today. Brewers lead 1-0 on a Travis Shaw second inning home run. One of their 2 hits today. Rockies with no runs on 4 hits. Arenado's single in the 3rd inning snapped an 0 for 10 as he takes down and in. 3-0 the count. Third time through the batting order now. Arenado, the National League leader in homers. 28 on the year. He's driven in 80. Takes a strike.
Changeup. Wasn't going to mess around with a fastball.
3-0 change of pace.
Yeah.
Just in case he had the green light there. Arenado's 80 RBIs good enough for 3rd in the league. Right now 85 leads the league. Eugenio Suarez of the Reds. Javi Baez has 84 of the Cubs, and then Arenado. Aguilar's 4th, right behind Arenado. 3-1 the count, and that one misses. Ball 4. Arenado will reach on the walk. It's the 3rd walk allowed. One of those an intentional pass. Now it's first and second with the red-hot Trevor Story coming up.
Yeah, still trying to find that inside corner. It's been elusive for Miley tonight. I should say this afternoon.
Well, a big at-bat for Wade Miley right now. Trevor Story stands in with 2 on and 1 away. Rockies are in the heart of their order. Twice Colorado has stranded runners. But that was with the pitcher making the final out on both occasions. Story in the air to left field. Braun's going back, and he's out of room, and Trevor Story has done it again. His 4th home run of this series. A 3-run home run, and the Rockies are on top 3-1. Worst case scenario right there.
Yep, another poorly located fastball by Wade Miley. And Trevor Story just loves the first pitch fastball, and that's exactly what he got, and drove it on out of here. That's that cut fastball he's really having a difficult time with, and it's not where you want to leave it. He's been leaving him in off the plate. This time he leaves it out over the plate, and Story knocks it into the Brewers bullpen.
No doubters. Story's hit 24 on the season. Bases empty now with 1 away. Carlos Gonzalez takes a strike. This Rockies lineup very similar to the Brewers offense. They are a quick strike group because they hit the long ball up and down the lineup. There are no breathers.
Yep, walks and home runs.
On the ground to Shaw. Nice easy hop for him, and that'll be the 2nd out.
First home run allowed all season by Wade Miley, and it came at a bad time with a couple of men on.
Miley's streak had gone to 34 1/3 without allowing a home run. If you go back to last year in his time with the Orioles, he's not allowed a home run since September 29th of last season. Until that long ball there. There's a liner into left field. Braun makes the catch on that sinking line drive. And that will end the inning, but a 3-run shot from Trevor Story has Colorado on top after 4.5.
Price for just $59.99. You can access HD streams of all out-of-market games on over 400 different devices. Plus, enjoy a free MLB At Bat Premium subscription when you sign up. Learn more by visiting MLB.tv today.
Rockies have the lead now after a 3-run bomb by Story. It's 3-1. See if the Brewers can get it back. A hot shot, and Arenado can't find it. He knocked it down and saved an extra base hit. Amazingly able to get a glove on that ball, but he thought it had popped up. Instead, it stayed on the ground, and Braun reaches on an infield hit. He's 2 for 2.
Oh, what a vicious line drive by Braun. It short hops Arenado. Check this out. These hands just did knock it down, but you know, Ryan Braun with a leadoff single. That guy's got incredible hands, doesn't he? Amazing.
Braun says, "I got you."
Man.
He took a hit away, has taken a number of hits away from Brewer hitters in this series already. Now Scope is up. Now this would be a chance for the Brewers offense to pick up their starter Wade Miley, who's been so good for them. A 3-run home run with 1 out in the top of this inning flips the game, and now the Brewers with a chance to answer back against John Gray. In the air to left, Scope just missed it. Desmond just shy of the track for out number 1.
Yeah, hung a slider, nearly hit it out. Like to have that one back.
Here's Eric Kratz now. Kratz with a new bat. Broke his bat last time up on a little pop up to first. Brewers down at the bottom of their order. This might be a running opportunity for Braun. Craig Counsell puts this lineup together. He's got Kratz and Arcia and then the pitcher spot. You're hoping for a little offense down at the bottom of the order, which can usually turn into big run production. Kratz flips one in the air to right center, and it's going to be run down by Gonzalez. Braun has to retreat. 2 outs in the inning.
John Gray, we talked about, you know, early in the season, he was always looking for the strikeout. He had big strikeout totals, but it seems like lately, and we've seen it today, he's pitching more to contact. He's allowing the Brewers to make contact. That's what's keeping that pitch count down. He's sitting at only 45 as we work here in the 5th inning. Adjustments guys are constantly making, and power pitcher turning into more of a guy that's allowing the Brewers to hit it. And it's been effective for him.
Orlando Arcia with 2 away. The free swinging Arcia usually swings early in the count. Braun with a big lead at first, and Arcia takes ball 2. Got the pitcher coming up next. There is activity in the Brewer bullpen. It is unlikely that Counsell would allow Miley to hit. It could be a scenario if Arcia hit one out maybe, but not many scenarios that he would actually bat in this inning with Soria getting ready. There goes Braun. Arcia takes, and the throw is late. That's a stolen base for Ryan Braun, his 8th. He's 8 out of 11 in stolen base attempts, and the Brewers put a runner in scoring position now with 2 outs.
You got first base open. Is a 2-1 count. Great jump by Brawny. Rockies have an opportunity to walk Arcia, go after Miley, maybe get him out of the game. Chess match begins for Bud Black. I guess if you're thinking about getting Miley out of the game, you walk Arcia here, right?
And they will pitch to him. And ball 4. So Arcia draws the walk. Probably trying to see if Arcia would chase. He does not. And now the tying run is on. And Council is going to bring on one of his big bats off the bench. Jesus Aguilar will pinch hit here in the 5th inning. Can close the book on Wade Miley. Big spot for the Group Crew in the 5th. Just as the Rockies had their sluggers up in the top of this inning, now Aguilar will step in. This is where Aguilar made his money last year. He was the Brewers' best pinch hitter. Murphy goes through the scouting report. Jesus did homer on Thursday in Los Angeles. His 26th of the year. He's on the Powerball home run leaderboard, not only leading the Brewers in home runs, he's also tied for 3rd in the National League. Miley's done 5 innings, 3 runs, all earned. Right now on the hook for the loss. 2 on, 2 out. And the pinch hitter Aguilar.
Hadn't had too many opportunities off the bench because he's been playing just about every day. Only 2 for 13 as a pinch hitter this year.
Did have a pinch hit walk-off home run against the Marlins earlier this season. The 1-0 outside, ball 2. Got the dangerous Christian Yelich coming up next.
Teams have been working Aguilar on the outside part of the plate as of late.
Big scoring chance for Milwaukee. Got a home run from Shaw in the 2nd. 2 on, 2 out. The 2-0 pitch right off the end of the bat. Gray went back to that breaking ball. 2-1 now. Gray deals. Aguilar chases. 2-2 the count.
Another breaking pitch, another slider. He hung it too much.
That never really did break. It just kind of spun up there. What do they call it? The
Cement mixer.
Just stayed up there. I think Aguilar was recognized the spin. He was ready to hammer that
Waiting
one
for it to break and never did.
Well, it's 2-2 now. Braun and Arcia on the bases. Good speed out there. Tying run at first. Gray delivers, and Aguilar to short. Story will fire to second, and that will retire the side. 3-1 Colorado. We go to the 6th inning from Miller Park.
Hey, all teachers, aides, and other educational employees can save money on seats for the Crew's upcoming series against the Padres during Educators Days at Miller Park this Tuesday through Thursday, presented by Educators Credit Union. Learn more at brewers.com/theme nights.
Here we go to the 6th inning now with the Rockies up 3-1. 3-run homer by Trevor Story, the difference. Joakim Soria is in. He pitched in the 9th inning last night. He'll get the 6th here today. Bottom of the order coming up. Bud Black counters with Gerardo Parra, who will pinch hit for Pat Valleca.
Yeah, the Brewers ended up using 5 relievers in last night's game, a few more than Craig Counsell bargained for when took the mound in the 9th inning. Soria, one of them, only a third of an inning. 45th appearance. He's got that .236 earned run average. Real good numbers for Soria. He's got the fastball, changeup, curveball. He's come up with a pretty good slider as of late. 52 punch outs in 42 innings.
This is his 5th game as a Brewer. Parra on the ground to second base, and Scope will take care of Parra for out number 1. Now the versatility of the Brewers bullpen. Counsell's got it right where he wants it now. He's taken Corey Knebel out of the closer's role, in that it's all about matchups. It's all about who's fresh and where it fits in the batting order, and you can use all these pieces at different times. Soria, if he goes right through that inning without having to face Charlie Blackmon, he'll probably be allowed to stay in to get the save last night.
Yeah.
It just got to the point where the matchup presented itself with Hader against Blackmon. So Hader got a save. He faced one batter. And you have multiple pieces that can pitch in the 9th inning. Guys who have done it before, like Soria and Jeffress and Hader and, of course, Knebel.
Good problem to have too many guys that can close games, right? So, you know, Craig Counsell has said that he wants to use Knebel more often. And that's why we saw him early on in last night's game, just to make sure he got an inning. Knebel a scoreless 7th last night. Brewers had a big lead at the time. Knebel much more effective when he's pitching more often.
There's Tom Murphy, fouls the first pitch away. Craig Counsell, since he took over as the manager of the Brewers in the 15 season, has tried to erase the labels from his bullpen. He calls them out-getters. So if you say, who's your closer, Craig? He'll say, no, we don't have a closer, we have out-getters. It didn't really function that way because Knebel was pitching at an all-star level last year. For a manager to have the pieces that Craig Counsell has right now and the ability to use them anytime, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, that is a bonus. Every manager wants to get there. It's hard to do that because most relievers want to have defined roles.
Changing terminology.
Yeah.
He calls his position players the position player group. We don't have starters and bench players.
Right. Soria with a strikeout. He gets Murphy. He struck him out last night, and Soria gets him again tonight.
Yeah, there's that changeup, little split change from Soria, down and away, perfect location.
Soria was an all-star closer with the Kansas City Royals. Used to be a fastball curveball pitcher. He had a nasty curveball. One of the few closers that throw a curveball. And he's kind of reinvented himself as well. He throws from different arm angles. He has the splitter, which is the change of pace pitch.
Well, what he does best is throw strikes.
John Gray, who is pitching a gym, hitting here in this 6th inning, drops a bunt down right back to the mound. And a 1-2-3 inning for Soria. Brewers go back to the top of their order. They are down 2. Bottom of the 6th coming. Christian Yelich will lead off, then Thames, then Moustakas. Got the left-handers coming to bat against Gray. taste and only 96 calories. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
We're back at Miller Park. Christian Yelich leading off the 6th inning as the Brewers trail 3-1. And over his last 30 games, Yelich is hitting over 400 with 26 runs scored and 25 runs batted in. And I spoke with assistant hitting coach Jason Lane yesterday about the stretch that Yelich is on right now. And he said really he's a player that is so aware of his swing, his routine. He's incredibly dedicated to it. And he said he holds himself to a very high standard. He said even before the All-Star break, when it was an All-Star first season for him, he said you would watch him prepare and you would almost have to encourage him that he was doing better than he thought because he held himself to such a high standard and he felt that the results weren't quite where he wanted them to be. So he said he was grinding a little bit before the All-Star break, but he said something changed for him, maybe that home run at the All-Star game in Washington when he homered off of Charlie Morton, because since then he said he has just really taken off. He's very locked in right now, and he credited a lot of that work that Yelich has been doing even going back to the start of the season just with that daily routine.
Well, he's been fun to watch. 324 hitter, leads the National League. Parra stays in to play left. That moves Desmond to first base after Parra's pinch hit appearance. And John Gray still on the mound. 3-1 Colorado as Yelich right on cue. Base hit to right. On base once again. Christian Yelich has now reached safely in 24 of his last 26 games.
They got a pitch out away from him, able to wait back long enough, hook it into right field. Yelich, good start to the 6th inning. You know, you talk about that routine, and the only way you can have that routine and really stick to it and do exactly what you need to do to get ready for games is to be healthy. And he's been able to do that for the most part. He did miss 8 games on a disabled list. And if you got nagging injuries, it really disrupts not only the way you play on the field, but your pregame workouts, your routines. You're not able to do what you feel as though you need to do to to get ready to play.
Well, Yelich now with 48 hits in those 26 games. Christian Yelich on. Thames at the plate and now to Blackman for the out. Out number 1. You know, Yelich right before the All-Star break, his batting average was down to 282. As the season got going, that was really the low spot for him. So that was July 7th, Rock. We're talking about a month. He's hitting 282 and an 816 OPS.
All the way down to 282,
right,
huh?
Which is a good number. So now in a month, his OPS is 930.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that's how good he's been. I mean, he's really consistent throughout the year, but he has been just unbelievably hot for a long stretch now. You know, it's not often, we've been saying it, for the most part all season, when you knew that Kane and Yelich were coming over, you had expectations, but these two guys have exceeded expectations. When you see them every day, it's really the only way you can appreciate what they're able to do out there.
Well, looking for a big moment out of Mike Moustakas here, potentially. Brought here to Milwaukee via the trade with the Royals, but primarily because this is a ballpark tailor-made for Moustakas, who has pull power and that short porch to right field. Yelich a threat to run. Brewers are down 2. Yelich has only been caught twice. He has 13 steals, 13 out of 15. Tying run at the plate. Moustakas in a 2-0 count. 3-0 now.
Yeah, good take, slider. Haven't seen much of Moustakas, but not sure if he likes 3-0, but this will be a good time to pull the trigger on one down the middle.
He's still looking for his first Brewer home run. The 3-0 is upstairs, ball 4. Moustakas draws the walk, and the Brewers are back in business in the 6th inning. 2 more reach, this time with 1 out. And here comes Travis Shaw.
And nothing doing in the Rockies bullpen. The pitch count for John Gray incredibly low, only 60 pitches here in the 6th inning. Brewers have been attacking early. He's been getting outs early in the count, keeping that pitch count down. And Bud Black is very confident in Gray. He's got nobody getting loose.
Travis Shaw at the plate, presented by Blaze Pizza. That home run in the second. Struck out looking in the fourth inning. Second inning homer. Put the Brewers on the board on a hanging breaking ball. Launched it out of here over 440 feet into right center field. And Shaw homering in his last 2 games. 22 for the season. A long ball here. The Brewers jump back on top. 2 on, 1 out. With Braun due next.
Well, it's unusual in this day and age in baseball where you have a starting pitcher with a lead in trouble in the 6th inning and no activity in the bullpen.
Speaks more to the Rockies bullpen. Those not named Ottavino and Davis until recently. The last 2 in their pen up until the last few days have been excellent. Ottavino is their best reliever. Davis has 6 blown saves now, had 2 in back-to-back games, Thursday and Friday. So I'm sure Bud Black feels like John Gray in the 6th is still his best option on the mound. And it's 0-2 now on Shaw. Brewers need a big hit. Only 4 hits today against Gray. Ryan Braun has 2 of those hits. Yelich and Moustakas on the bases. 0-2 pitch. Outside. He missed with it. He wanted it too.
Don't think he's going to get the curveball again.
The 1-2. Shaw fouls it back. Been a while since Shaw hit multiple home runs in a game. Back in his Boston days in 2015 when he first came up. That's when he earned that nickname, Mayor of Ding Dong City. 2 on, 1 out. And Gray ready for a 1-2 pitch. And that bounces in.
Man. Looks like he threw a changeup that barely made the dirt. Nice block by Murphy. That would have put the tying run at second base.
So from 0-2 to 2-2. Rockies have the shift on with Shaw at the plate. 3 infielders on the right side. Story holding Yelich close. And the 2-2 pitch is inside. Ball 3.
Not sure if they're going to send the runners here on the full count. Now you're down by a couple. Last thing you want to do with a guy in trouble is make it out on the bases.
And Ryan Braun due next. Pitch of action here. 3-2, 1 away. Runners stay put. Shaw strikes out. Gray got him on the breaking ball. That's a big out for John Gray. That's the 2nd out of the inning.
And put in a good spot right on the outside corner. That was a changeup. It looked like one anyway. Well, actually, spinner that didn't do much. He just stayed on the outer half of the plate, right in the corner. Good pitch. Didn't see much break on it.
2 men are out. Here comes Ryan Braun. Braun's had a good day so far. 2 hits against Gray. He's hit the ball sharply twice. Has a stolen base as well. Arenado took a double away from Braun in the 5th inning on a hot shot down towards third. 2 outs now. And Yelich goes. Braun takes, and Yelich is in there without a throw.
Yeah, pretty risky. Better make sure you're going to be in there safely. Moustakas not sure. He doesn't go, so he gets the stolen base, but Moustakas is staying put. The last thing you want to do is get caught on the back end of that if you don't get a good break.
That puts a little extra pressure on the pitcher. Wild pitch, pass ball. Could score a run. Braun has been excellent in spots like this season. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Here's the 1-0. Braun takes a strike. Ryan has 32 at-bats with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Has 12 hits, 375 average. Brewers down 2, 6th inning, 2 outs. And the 1-1 from Gray. Braun, a chopper to third, backing up on it. Arenado, the throw to first in time. What a play. Good man. That was something special right there. On a tough hop, Arenado right in his pocket. And a strong throw to get the speedy Braun to end the inning. The Brewers come up empty. What a player.
Eric Hosmer's 2-run triple in the second off of John Lester. That was after Freddie Galvis had homered earlier in the inning, so that would give them an early 4-0 lead. And the Padres currently lead that one at Wrigley 5-1.
5 earned runs allowed by John Lester, another former Royal performing in another spot this year. Eric Hosmer signed that big free agent deal. Here's another former Royal on the mound for the Brewers, Jeremy Jeffress. He'll take over the 7th inning and trying to keep this game at 3-1.
Yeah, Jeremy's had a few days off. Last pitched on Wednesday against the Dodgers, scoreless inning.
Top of the order coming up. Charlie Blackmon, DJ LeMahieu, and Nolan Arenado. How about that play by Arenado to win the inning?
Yeah, incredible. I mean, incredible hands. And the tough part of that play is spinning around and making a good throw, you know, to first base. Right on the money with something on it to get Braun. That saved a run, at least one.
Yeah, to catch the ball on the bounce was one thing on this topper.
Yeah.
But then to reach in, get the ball, get a grip, spin, and throw that accurately.
He's falling toward left field. I mean, that's an amazing throwing arm right there, off balance, right on the money, and gets Braun by a full step. That's just a big league play. That tells you why Arenado. Tells you all you need to know about how good a third baseman he is.
I have no problem saying publicly that he is in the discussion for the greatest third baseman defensively in baseball history. He's there. He's in that group. The plays he makes.
Yeah.
The hand-eye coordination. Even the ball Braun hit his last time up back in the 5th inning. That was a certain double to the wall. And Arenado was able to pick it. He didn't make the play for an out, but he was able to knock it down. Most third basemen just watch that one go by. That's a leadoff walk.
You know, the guy that we saw in L.A. was is kind of in that group as well, Manny Machado, when he was playing third base.
No doubt.
So the Brewers have seen some pretty nifty fielding third basemen over the last 2 series.
One swing of Trevor Story's bat, the difference right now. A 3-run homer in the 5th. And now Jeremy Jeffress trying to keep the Rockies at 3. A leadoff walk to Blackman with LeMahieu at the plate. Shows bunt, takes a strike. LeMahieu got that rally started in the 5th with a 1-out double off Miley. Miley went 5, giving up 5 hits, 3 runs all earned, giving up his first home run as a Brewer.
I'm thinking about what you said about Arenado just now. Arenado. I think he's in there. Yeah. What about Beltre? Where does he rank? Is he in there? Brooks Robinson.
Certainly Brooks Robinson. There goes Blackman swinging a grounder right back to Jeffress. Fired to second, and the ball is dropped. Scope couldn't handle it.
Looked like a pretty good throw. Yeah, Jeremy Jeffress threw one of his best fastballs down to second base. Trying to get the double play. Yeah, Jeremy, I'm not sure why Scope not able to handle. Maybe it had a little sink to it. Let's check it out. Does it handcuff him? Yeah, a little bit right off the heel of the glove.
Yeah, play it's got to be made. Scope's having a rough start to his Brewers career after the trade. And that is a costly error. Now Arenado is at the plate with 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, second error committed by the Brewers middle infield. They give Jeffress that error, or is that Scope?
That's E4.
Scope gets it.
Scope gets it.
Wasn't the easiest throw to handle, but one that should have been made.
Brewers in the danger zone right now. Arenado at the plate, swing and a miss. Jeffress put a fastball right by him. 0-2 the count.
Anybody else on that list at third base?
Mike Schmidt was a great third baseman.
Right, yeah.
And there are
Greg Nettles
throughout the history of the game, certainly players that separated themselves defensively. I mean, Brooks Robinson is the gold standard. But Arenado is as good as there has ever been. And I'm with you on Machado as well, having seen Machado and Arenado with my own eyes. It's hard to imagine anybody better.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to kind of rank him if you haven't really seen him. You've just heard about him. Well, yeah, he's certainly in a discussion.
One ball, 2 strikes. And he got him. Jeffress gasses him up with a fastball. That's a big strikeout for Jeremy Jeffress, out number 1 of the inning.
They got him up and in. And not messing around with the off-speed stuff. Goes right after him. The only pitch that he threw out of the zone was a knuckle curve, and then he gassed him up and in with 96 miles an hour.
Eric Kratz on his way. Maybe you want to go through the signs again here. Trevor Story is coming up. He has really hurt the Brewers in this series and this season. Now the Brewers are 5-1 against Colorado on the year, but Trevor Story has done his part. How about 7 home runs against Milwaukee?
Got a
17 RBIs.
Triple and a double in Colorado. Yeah, he's been a one-man wrecking crew against the Brewers, and they have handled the Rockies pretty well, but this guy a little different.
7 games he's hit those 7 homers. Has 4 home runs in this series, hit 2 last night. And his 3-run home run in the 5th took it from 1-0 Milwaukee to 3-1 Colorado. 2 on, 1 away. And a wave and a miss. Jeffress goes with that sweeping breaking ball.
Yep, the knuckle curve down and away. That's the way you attack Story. You don't want to leave him up in the zone, though.
He is a first ball swinger. Jeffress is a ground ball pitcher. He would love to get one here, get out of this inning. Another curve, another strike. Buckled his knees this time, and it's 0-2. Second out of the pen for Craig Counsell today. Soria pitched a scoreless 6th. Jeffress trying to do the same here in the 7th. Going through a lot of signs here. A couple of shakeoffs by Jeffress. He's got the one he wants now. 2-strike pitch is inside.
Oh, yeah, bust him inside, get him off that outside corner. Not a bad pitch right now to Trevor Story. Get him off the plate a little bit.
His ground ball pitch is that power sinker. See what he uses. 1-2 the count. Blackman and LeMahieu on, and a swing and a shot to short. Around the second. Scopes got it. Shortstop Arcia couldn't quite get back in time. Good base running by Blackman. Out number 2.
Yeah, got it down on the label a little bit. Yeah, good pitch up and in. Story still able to hit it hard, but didn't barrel it up.
That's good work by Jeremy Jeffress to get Arenado and Story. Now one more piece to the puzzle here in the 7th inning. And the dangerous Carlos Gonzalez, who has been hot in a 7-game hit streak, has a walk and a double today. Another guy you have to beware on the first pitch. A low ball hitter, Carlos Gonzalez. Starts him with a hook, and it's in there for a strike.
Yeah, you can get him out with the hard stuff upstairs. And his double today off of Miley came on a hanging curveball.
Two on, 2 outs. Jeffress trying to go through the heart of the order with men on. The 0-1 swing and a miss. Fastball 97 miles an hour, and it's 0-2. Right on your scouting report there, partner.
Yeah, get one up and in. A little easier to get to one up and away as it is up and in. Still effective upstairs, though.
This would give the Brewers a big lift to get out of this inning. Crowd of nearly 38,000 ready to roar here. The 0-2 is slapped foul and out of play. Jeffress had a 27 save season with the Brewers. Taking that closer's mentality to any inning in which he is asked to pitch. 0-2 pitch. 1-2 now. When you think about Jeffress, 27 save year. Corey Knebel had a 39 save season last year. Joakim Soria saved 43. Had a couple of years over 40 saves. And we haven't even mentioned Josh Hader yet.
Right, and there's options, right?
Needing that bullpen here. 2-strike pitch on the ground to Schoop. He's got it. And Jeffress able to work around the air. That is big league pitching right there. And a scoreless frame in the 7th. Stranding 2 more. Time for Miller Park's presentation of God Bless America. We turn it over to Rob Edwards.
Zalski from the Brewers Guest Services.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Jeremy Jeffress working around an error and a leadoff walk. Arenado, Story, and Gonzalez go down in order with 2 on. And now the Brewers still within 2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Jonathan Schoop will lead off. Schoop, Kratz, and Arcia scheduled to hit. Council has used Aguilar. Still has Kane, Pena, and Perez available. It's a 4-man bench for Milwaukee. John Gray continues on here in the 7th as Schoop pops this one into foul territory. Desmond over near the dugout, and that'll bounce on the dugout. And it's a ball and a strike on the Brewers' second baseman.
There's still nothing going on in that Rockies bullpen. John Gray's pitch count in terrific shape. I'd imagine there's going to be some activity once you get a little bit further down in this batting order. Then you got the 4 left-handers coming up. They do have 2 lefties in their pen.
1-1 to Schoop. Fastball strike. Good one on the outside corner. Schoop is in need of something positive to happen. It's been a rough start for him in his Brewer portion of his season. The 1-2. Down he goes. Gray with a strikeout, 1 away in the 7th. Well, John Gray's been impressive if you're just picking us up here. Travis Shaw with a second inning home run that led off the inning. Gave the Brewers a 1-0 lead. And then Trevor Story, one swing of the bat, producing all of Colorado's runs. He drove in all 4 yesterday, and he has driven in all 3 today.
He just has been wearing out Brewer pitching all year.
3-1 our score. Bottom 7. Eric Kratz at the plate. Brewers trying to sweep Colorado with a win today. They'll need a comeback victory. Milwaukee has 6 sweeps on the season. 4 of them the 3-game variety. 3 sweeps at home, 3 on the road this year. Cubs are mounting a comeback at home against the Padres. San Diego led 5-1. It's now 5-3. Cubs did chase the Padres chased John Lester. He gave up 5 earned runs in 5 innings. Kratz hits it hard to right field, and it's going to be caught by Gonzalez. A couple of loud outs by Eric Kratz to Carlos Gonzalez today.
Yeah, unfortunately, right at the right fielder. Gonzalez plays relatively deep, but didn't have to go too far to catch that. And Padres looking to split that series against the Cubs. A 4-gamer at Wrigley.
Here's Orlando Arcia with 2 away. If Arcia can reach, Hernan Perez has already moved on deck. He would be the pinch hitter, it looks like. And it's quickly 0-2 on Arcia. Council has Josh Hader getting loose in the bullpen. And a couple of left-handers due up. Gonzalez, Desmond, and Parra. Left, right, left next inning in the 8th. There is Hader, who knocks his 8th save of the year. Last night, faced 1 batter. Brewers are rolling out their best relievers, trying to keep the game at 3-1 as Arcia takes a breaking ball.
Unless you give him some work, you have an off day tomorrow. Greg Council only used Hader for 1 batter last night.
Well, 11 times this year the Brewers have come back when trailing after 6. You got to pin that on an excellent bullpen. That one just missed. And the count evens now, 2-2 on Arcia. Two. Arcia pops it up. Murphy in fair territory for the final out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Gray is rolling along here. We go to the 8th. 3-1 Colorado.
In Rushholt, if they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin. And Miller Lite, Rushholt, Wisconsin, just northeast of Stevens Point.
That sounds like a rally town. And the Brewers need one here, down 3-1. You don't see Josh Hader pitch in games when the Brewers are trailing, but this is a day to do it with a day off tomorrow. And Hader is on the mound to work the 8th. He's got Desmond to start it, then Gerardo Parra, then Tom Murphy.
And the Great Council wants to keep this one close. Josh Hader in his 37th game, 4-0 record. He's got that 133 earned run average. He saved the game last night and retired the only batter that he faced, Charlie Blackmon, in the top of the 9th.
First ball swinging. Desmond fouls it back. Desmond started the game in left field, made a terrific catch, leaping up against the wall, robbing an extra base hit away from Christian Yelich. That was the first at bat of the day for Milwaukee. He has since moved to first base. Popped him up. Foul, grounds out of play again, and it's 0-2. Hader would save number 8 of the season last night. Came in to retire Blackmon with the bases loaded. 3 more inherited runners left stranded for Josh Hader. Starts a clean inning here today.
Got a little nervous last night, didn't it?
Brewers had a 7-0 lead in that game last night. Ended up being 8-4, but Colorado had the tying run at the plate with only 1 out. Soria and Hader finished it off. In this game, Soria, Jeffress, and now Hader. After Wade Miley went 5. One pitch Miley wished he had back, that 3-run homer by Story. Otherwise, excellent again. There's a pop up. See if this will stay playable. Shaw is over. He's got it. Just over the rail. A guy who rarely plays first base at Miller Park gets a chance today and makes it look easy.
Yeah, well, he's used to making plays over there along the third base line. Over there in the visitors dugout, gets a little bit more help over by his own dugout. Junior Guerra saying, "You got room?" Nice catch by Travis.
I think Junior Guerra said, "I got it," at one point.
Junior looked like he wanted to catch it, didn't he?
He has glove up and everything. His hand that normally has a glove on it. Gerardo Parra now. Able to check his swing.
Yeah, those 2 guys up on the railing in the Brewers dugout pitched 2 really good games in this series. Junior Guerra, Freddie Peralta. Junior went 8 innings.
Boy, it needed that too. That was the first game of the series when the Brewers had arrived at 6 a.m. that morning. Guerra left early from Los Angeles. He was sent home early to get a good night's rest, and he picked him up in a big way.
Yeah, needed it.
He left the game down in the game, trailing 3-2. Corbin Burns got the win on Friday night. That was the Eric Thames walk-off. But Guerra pitched beautifully. 2-0 to Parra. 3-0 now. Second plate appearance for Gerardo Parra, the former Brewer. He pinch hit in the 6th inning, grounded out. And that misses down and away. Walked him on 4 pitches. Rockies have another base runner. Hey, a reminder that if you can't catch us on television, you can stream games live on your mobile device. It's all on the Fox Sports Go app. You can download and take the app with you wherever you go. Fox Sports Wisconsin, Brewers baseball, and all of the Fox programming. Tom Murphy with one away. Well, Bud Black has John Gray on deck, so you can surmise that with a quiet bullpen, he is going to ride it out with Gray, and I'm sure he'd like to get 8 innings out of Gray and then go to Ottavino if needed. Trying to salvage the final game of this series.
This guy's been terrific, John Gray, since being recalled from AAA. All he's done is won every game he started.
Brewers had 2 big chances, 2 on with 2 outs in the 5th inning. And Aguilar at the plate. Gray got him to ground out. And then 2 on with 1 out in the 6th inning with Shaw and Braun coming up. And Gray retired Shaw and Braun, strikeout ground out to end it. Hader does have a good move. He's one of those unusual relievers that holds runners well. Came up as a starter, of course, so he controls the running game well. He fields his position well. No balls and a strike to Murphy.
Yeah, throwing strikes usually not a problem for Josh Hader, especially against lefties. Walking Gerardo Parra on 4 pitches. Not often, as you mentioned, he comes into a game with the Brewers trailing. A rare bird today.
1 ball, 1 strike to the Rockies catcher. 1-2 now. That was always the scouting knock on Hader coming up through the minor leagues. Would he be able to command his pitches with that herky-jerky, violent throwing motion, right? And the thing that makes him effective is also what would get him in trouble.
Right, repeatable delivery.
Yeah, he has done a masterful job mastering those mechanics at the big league level since he came up last year. He just pumps 1 strike in after another.
Not been able to really hit the glove most of the time. Catcher wants it away. You put it on the outside corner. You see that delivery that hides the baseball so well. Hitters have a difficult time picking it up early.
It looks like he's going to throw one into the on deck circle with that crossfire delivery where he steps compared to where he starts. Shows you a lot of his back.
He's starting to really have better command and confidence in his breaking stuff. The slider has been a more important or more effective pitch for him lately.
1-2 now. And he got him. Hader up the ladder with a fastball. His first strikeout. It is out number 2. And here comes the pitcher, John Gray.
And not messing around. Here it is. Hit it up in the zone, and Murphy right under it. 95 miles an hour. The velocity last couple of times out has been pretty good.
John Gray has 84 pitches. He has 7 innings of 1-run ball. He's only given up 4 hits. That 1 run was a Travis Shaw homer. And he is going to bat for the 4th time today, giving the Rockies a brilliant outing. And their beat up bullpen a break. Looking ahead to the Milwaukee 8th. There'll be a pinch hitter to start it. Most likely Perez. Could see Kane bat to lead off the 8th if he's available. And then back to the top of the order in Yelich and Thames. So it's set up for the Brewers to come back if they can solve the riddle of John Gray. It'll be the 4th time around the batting order against Gray.
Yeah, because there's really no pinch hitting going to happen with the top of the order. So wouldn't be surprised if it's Kane, because the Brewers need a man on base.
Hader strikes him out to end the inning. Do the Brewers have a comeback in them this afternoon? 6 outs to work with. We head to the bottom of the 8th.
Badger Mutual Insurance pitcher of the game. He's done an outstanding job, been very efficient here.
And I think efficient is the word. When we talk John Gray, you usually talk about big fastball, big slider. But today it's been the off-speed stuff. Good off-speed changeup, good off-speed breaking ball. Very efficient, 84 pitches through 8, just 2 walks and 5 strikeouts, giving up 1 run on 4 hits.
And he's looking to go deeper into this game. We'll talk about it coming up afterwards on the Brewers Live post-game report presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. How about Trevor Story? He's putting together a storybook here with a 4-home-run series. Shaw's power is emerging. We'll hear from Craig Counsell and see how the Brewers finish. It's been quite a series for finishing, and Lorenzo Cain's going to get things started here in the 8th, B.A.
All right, Craig, thanks. He will pinch hit to lead off this 8th inning. So it'll be Kane, Yelich, Thames, if anybody reaches Moustakas.
Yeah, you need your best on-base percentage available on the bench when you're leading off late in the game, down by a couple. Brewers need a base runner, but John Gray has been terrific today.
He has retired 5 in a row. Kane slaps one off the Brewers dugout. Went right over the head of Manny Pena. Lorenzo not in the starting lineup today. Steps up in a big spot in the 8th. Brewers down 2. All the runs coming on the long ball this afternoon. Travis Shaw's solo homer in the 2nd. Trevor Story's 3-run blast in the 5th. One and one. And Kane, boy, just missed the bag at first. That had a chance for extra bases. Instead, it's 1 and 2 now.
Well, just about every run by either team in this series has been the result of a home run. There hasn't been a whole lot of situational hitting. There's been a bunch of homers. Well, Ryan Braun had a single to drive in a run yesterday.
Here's a 1-2. Kane able to lay off. Tough pitch.
Kind of what you would expect with, you know, two of the top home run hitting teams in the National League.
Kane takes a called strike 3. Fooled him with a fastball. And out number 1, and John Gray keeps on rolling. It's a 6th strikeout.
And check it out, right on that inside corner, down at the knees, plenty of the plate. Four-seam fastball gets him. Hey, look down in that Colorado bullpen, and now you got nothing but lefties coming up for the Brewers here. 4 of them, and they've got 2 right-handers getting loose.
Now, they only have 2 lefties in their pen. I think at the beginning of the year this would have been a spot for Jake McGee, but he has not pitched well. Their best reliever is on the right there in Ottavino. Oh, and Ottavino getting loose. I think that's one of the reasons Craig Counsell was willing to stack all those lefties at the top of the order, almost daring Bud Black to use his left-handers today, which he has not. 0-2 to Yelich, who is 1 out of 3 against Gray today. Padres lead the Cubs 5-3. They're in the 7th inning in that one. Brewers down to Colorado 3-1 here in the 8th. Well, Yelich has been averaging 2 hits a game for about a month now. Asking him to do it one more time. Had a single his last time up, then stole a base. 1-2 pitch. Missed outside. Gray still throwing hard. 95, 96 miles an hour with the fastball in the 8th inning here.
Yeah, you know, his cruising speed's been like what, 93, 94. He really hasn't been reaching back a whole lot tonight or today.
And he has another strikeout. Backdoor slider gets Yelich. Back-to-back Ks of Kane and Yelich. 2 gone in the 8th. 7 strikeouts for Gray.
Yeah, just a terrific performance by Gray today. It's been the fastball slider combination. Throwing a couple of curveballs, although Travis Shaw hit a curveball out of the ballpark.
It's the 8th time he has pitched at least 7 innings. It's his longest outing of the year officially now at 7 2/3. And he poor strike 1 in there on Eric Dames. Gray went 7 1/3 against the Cardinals in the Rockies' lone win in St. Louis last week. Only gave up 2 runs in that game. 1-2 now to Thames. Gray a chance to strike out the side in the 8th and does so. Wow, what a performance. John Gray has retired 8 straight. Just struck out the side in the 8th inning. That'll take us to the 9th. 3-1 Colorado.
Check out the complete series schedule that features a Game of Thrones night and a Kids and Seniors discount day. Go to Brewers.com for tickets.
Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Brewers and Padres starting a series Tuesday with Chase Anderson against Clayton Richard. The former Michigan quarterback, Clayton Richard. And Anderson, the opening day starter for the Brewers, trying to get Milwaukee off to a good start in that 3-game set. Miller Lite What's on Tap on the air at 6:30 p.m. Tuesday. The second half of this homestand. Brewers won the first 2 games against Colorado. They are down 3-1 here. Corbin Burns will pitch the 9th inning. Top of the order coming up. Charlie Blackmon, DJ LeMahieu, Nolan Arenado. Burns continues to impress. Had a bit of a cleanup in the 9th inning on Friday night. Worked around a leadoff base runner. And then Eric Dame's dramatics gave Corbin Burns the victory. Burns' second win. He also has a save. Appearing in his 9th game in the big leagues.
He's been fighting the slider a little bit last couple of outings, but still has that good fastball. And that slider, when it's working, is a wipeout, strikeout, swing and a miss slider.
One of the prized prospects out of the Brewers system. Starter turned reliever in the major leagues. Burns was the pitcher of the year in the minor leagues last season. Split time between A-ball and Double-A. Started his 2018 campaign in Triple-A Colorado Springs. Made his major league debut on July 10th. He's coming up on his 1-month anniversary in the big leagues. Blackmon, a little lazy fly ball. And Yelich will make the catch. Oh, travel a little further than I thought.
Yeah, lazy. Yeah, the wind, not sure how it affects the baseball, but it seems like it's blowing in from left field. Yeah, Burns upset with himself. You know what you like about this guy? Is that even when he gets outs, when he doesn't make a good pitch, he gets mad at himself out there. He expects more.
He's got that competitive burn for sure. Didn't start pitching till his junior year in high school. Played his college ball at St. Mary's in California. There's that slider Rock was talking about. Nasty breaking ball. And LeMahieu out in front of it.
He's got good spin rate on that pitch. You can see the dot. And LeMahieu pulling his head.
1 ball, 1 strike. Burns has a spot in Brewers franchise history. He got a save in his major league debut. Only other pitcher in Brewers history to earn a save in their debut was Dave LaPointe back in 1980. From 1980 to 2018. Hadn't been done.
Yeah.
Pitched 2 innings that day against Miami in his debut, July 10th. And LeMahieu draws a walk. 1 out base runner for Arenado. Bullpen is empty. Counsell is going to let it ride with his young prospect. Burns figures to be in the starting rotation next season. He's a 4-pitch pitcher. You don't see his full arsenal typically out of the bullpen, but he's got them all. Fastball, curveball, slider, change.
Yeah, Burns, one of those untouchables for the Brewers. Untradeable. And we've seen why when he goes out there on the mound. He's got great competitive spirit. Good stuff. You probably figure when he becomes that starting pitcher, he's going to be throwing a few more off-speed pitches, you know, change-ups, curveballs. Right now, just fastball, slider. You can get away with that as a reliever.
As an electric arm. Biggest question the Brewers had with Burns is moving him to the bullpen. How fast could he get ready? And they let him pitch in 6 games as a reliever in AAA to prepare him for coming out of the pen at the major league level, and he took to it quickly. That's probably why he arrived to the big league so fast. And give him credit for understanding what the Brewers were trying to do with him. And most starters you just assume are going to take a while to get ready, but he said, I haven't really been pitching that long as a starter, so that was easy for me. He was a reliever in college.
Yeah, word on him is he does get ready fairly quickly. Doesn't take long for that arm to get loose.
He has not spent much time in the minor leagues. First year in the minors 2016. Here he is in the big leagues 2018. .45 minor league starts for Corbin Burns before his promotion. Arenado, base hit to left. LeMahieu was going to turn and head to third. Throw comes into second base. And now the Rockies are threatening. 2 on and 1 away is Arenado with his second hit of the game.
Yep, we've seen some really good sliders from Corbin Burns in this appearance today, but he hung that one, left it up and in. Arenado didn't hit it all that well, but muscles it down the line and left. Sometimes you hang him when you're trying to throw him a little bit too hard. See where it ends up. It's supposed to be down and away, ends up and in, and Arenado able to muscle it out into left field.
Arenado is the National League leader in multi-hit games. He's tied with Nick Markakis. 2 hits today gives him 42 multi-hit games on the year. Brewers had held him hitless until today. So here is Story now, first and third, 1 away. On the ground to short, chance to turn it. Arcia, scope, over to Shaw, in time. Double play. Story thinks he beat it out. The Rockies will certainly have a look at this. It's going to be a big call right here. It's either a challenge.
They're going to go. They're going to challenge.
If it's overturned, it means a run scores. Bud Black wasted no time. He ran out onto the field.
Yeah, he beat it. Looked like he beat it.
Toe is on the bag and
clearly safe.
That's going to be a run in. This one's going to be overturned, you would think. That's a costly run there.
If it is overturned and a run scores, it would be the first run scored by the Rockies, not the result of a home run in this series.
Crew chief is Brian Honora, and safe is the call, and a run is in for Colorado. Story has great speed, and he was busting it down the line to earn that RBI. So it's 4-1 now, Colorado. Story's 4th RBI of the game. His 8th RBI in the last 2 days. He has 18 RBIs in 7 games against the Brewers this season. Get this guy out of here.
Yeah. Well, the Brewers have been able to handle just about everybody else, but not him.
Now Carlos Gonzalez with 2 outs. The Brewers will have Moustakas, Shaw, and Braun coming up. But now down 3. Earned run on the line for Corbin Burns.
Yeah, 2 walks have been able to come around to score today. 2 walks issued by the Brewers to the Rockies.
Saw Dan Jennings. Close play. Gonzalez back in time. Burns showing a good move.
And if the throw's on the other side of the bag, he's out. He's got a big lead over there. Looks like he wants to run.
Be a good time for it. 3-run lead, 9th inning. A walk and a single in his 9th inning. RBI from Story on the ground ball. 4-1 Colorado.
Travis Shaw telling Burns, they take it easy a little bit.
He's getting Shaw ready for his at-bat in the 9th.
Hey, did you see that fastball he threw over there?
Story does have 13 steals. Brewers throw over to first base as much as anybody. Most of those are called from the dugout.
Nothing wrong with that. Keep them close.
And there he goes. Throw to first. Shaw.
Yeah, he got to step off.
Dropped the throw.
He spun around through to first base. That'll be a stolen base for Story, but yeah, Burns realized he got to step off and get the out at second. Step off. Throw the ball to second base, you get the out.
And the veteran Kratz trying to calm down his young pitcher. Burns is only 23. Now a runner at second. Gonzalez at the plate in an 0-1 count. Fly ball to left field. Braun's got it to end the inning. Big run for the Rockies, though. An RBI on a fielder's choice from Story. He's driven in all 4 today. It's 4-1. Do the Brewers have a little magic in them this afternoon? They are down 4-1, ninth inning. And what you would assume is the new closer for the Colorado Rockies, Adam Ottavino. He has been outstanding this year. He will take over in a 3-run lead with Mike Moustakas leading off.
He's got 4 saves on the season. He threw a scoreless 8th inning on Friday. Nasty stuff, fastball slider. Somewhat unorthodox delivery makes him even more difficult to hit.
Brewers had a comeback win against Wade Davis on Friday. Ottavino has been their best. Has Moustakas in the air, right field, going back on it. Gonzalez, and this is going to go out of here. Mike Moustakas with a home run, his first as a Brewer.
Well, Rocky's got to be thinking what's going on. They've been losing a lot of leads late, and Moustakas with his first as a Brewer.
It is 4-2 Colorado. Moustakas gets loose for his first home run in a Milwaukee uniform. And when they talk about a short porch tailor-made for a hitter, that's it right there. Just cleared the fence.
Let's see if the Brewers can get another man on and drive another one out of here. Breaking pitch, it stayed down the middle of the plate. Moustakas gives it a ride, just does land over that wall and right.
Travis Shaw takes strike 1. Rockies got a big run in the top of this 9th inning. So a 2-run lead for Colorado. Brewers need a base runner. Shaw, wave and a miss at a slow breaking ball.
It's been a miserable road trip as far as protecting late leads for the Rockies. Got to wonder if that's creeping into their heads here.
They have been walked off 3 times on this road trip. They have won just 1 game on this trip, losing 5 of 6. The Cubs have come all the way back to tie the Padres at Wrigley. They've scored 2 in the 7th, still batting. That game's tied at 5. Brewers are a game back of the Cubs in the National League Central, 3 back in the loss column. Here's the 0-2. 1-2 now. Adam Ottavino gets the 9th. 2-2.
Anyway on. Get that tying run of the plate.
Well, throughout the years, Ottavino has been excellent in a relief role, but has not pitched well in the closer's role on the rare occasions he's gotten the chance. Right off the end of the bat, Ottavino underhands it to first base, and Shaw is out.
What is that?
That tells you he doesn't like to throw to first.
Goodness. That's shades of. That's amazing. That was a pretty long underhand flip. That's a Matt Garza flip right there. That's a little bit on the outer edge, or when you go overhand and underhand. They do get him at first base.
That's the longest underhand toss I've ever seen.
Yeah.
in a baseball game.
Yes. Yeah.
So the first out of the inning here is Braun now. Braun with 2 hits today. A couple of singles. He has a stolen base. Well, if Milwaukee can just get a man on and get the Rockies into here we go again mode.
That might have already slipped into their heads.
That tying run still on deck. Brewers are trying to get that tying run to the plate somehow. Braun fouls it. And that's a catcher's interference. Catcher's interference is going to put Braun on. And the Brewers will bring the tying run to the plate. Boy, how about that, man? Right. Tom Murphy sticks the glove out, and Braun is aboard. That'll be an error on the catcher, Murphy. No at-bat charge to Braun.
Watch how late Brawny swings at this. Watch how deep the baseball is, and gets a piece of the catcher's mitt. Brawny sees it right away, hears it right away. There we go.
So Jonathan Schoop representing the tying run. What a spot for him here to deliver. Needs one. Braun takes off. And they don't even bother with a throw. Second steal of the game for Braun. No chance for a ground ball double play now. And a base hit should get the Brewers within one.
Yeah, that's why that's a big stolen base. No double play. Ottavino gets a lot of ground balls.
Braun has 9 steals now. 1-0 to Schoop. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brewers acquired Schoop for his bat, power bat. They need it right now. Tying run at the plate. Schoop lays off the curveball, and it goes to 2-1.
I don't think that Ottavino is going to be testing Schoop on the inside part of the plate. If he does any damage, he's going to have to be thinking right center. He's got that terrific breaking pitch that goes away from a right-hander.
A run is in on a Moustakas homer. Braun at second. Here's a 2-1. 2-2 now. See what Ottavino does here. His bread and butter is that breaking ball. 2-2 the count. And Schoop takes a fastball on the outside corner. Down he goes.
Yeah, good pitch. He fooled him with a fastball. He thought he was going to go slider again. And put that one right on the edge. A perfect pitch.
Can't do it any better than that.
No, that's not much you can do. The best you can do is foul it off. But fooled Schoop and got him.
Schoop's woes continue. 0 for 4 today. A couple of strikeouts. Brewers down to their last out. Here is Eric Kratz. (4-2) Colorado. Kratz has hit the ball sharply his last 2 times up.
Which is why he gets in that bat right here. Hernan Perez available and Manny Pena.
Kratz has 2 fly ball outs to right. Those last 2. He sent Gonzalez to the track in right center in the 5th inning, and then hit a line drive right at Gonzalez, who guards the line. That was in the 7th inning. Eric Kratz has not homered since June 11th. Hit a home run off Jose Quintana of the Cubs. That was shortly after he arrived at the ball club in late May. Hit 3 home runs in his first 6 games as a Brewer. One ball, 1 strike. 1-2 now. Ottavino in the driver's seat.
Yeah, with this guy, you pretty much give up on the inside part of the plate. I mean, you're pretty good chance he's going to work you away. You just sell out on a pitch away and try and drive it in that direction. But with his arm angle, and you have a right-handed batter up there, that's a tough task.
Rockies might want to change the signs here. Brewers are down to their last strike. One and two the count. Ottavino ready. Takes a peek at Braun and misses outside. He went for that same outside corner fastball that he got the strikeout on Scope with. Missed it this time. Two.
That was a mistake that he'd like to have back. You saw the reaction of Ottavino right there. That slider ended up middle in. Certainly a pitch that you could knock out of here to left. Got away with it.
Do it again. Another 2-2 pitch. Kratz hanging in there. Ottavino notched a save against the A's a couple of weeks ago, July 27th. There's very few ninth inning outings this year for the Rockies with Wade Davis closing. Davis has been the league leader in saves. He and Kenley Jansen going back and forth. But today it's Ottavino's turn to close it. 2-2 to Kratz. And that gets away. Is it a swing? I think it is. And Kratz will reach on a wild pitch. Kratz was taking no chances. He took off running right away, essentially calling himself out on a swing.
He didn't want to take any chances. I mean, they can always go back and ask, and if he didn't swing, he comes back. But it looked like he went. He knew it, and he takes off to first. So, the catcher's interference, and now a wild pitch on a strike three. And the Brewers now bring the winning run to home plate.
You got to make that play if you're Tom Murphy.
Right.
You have to know a curveball is coming to get in the dirt with that. And here is Orlando Arcia, the beleaguered Brewers shortstop, who has been up and down from the big leagues to the minors this year on 2 occasions because of his bat. He's going to get an at-bat here in this 9th inning. Council has Perez and Pena available, but he is going to ride it out with Arcia.
He's showing a lot of confidence in his shortstop here.
Look out for the first pitch. And Arcia takes a breaking ball strike. Tying run at first. Arcia representing the winning run. This would be the hunch of all hunches if Arcia hits one out of here.
Got 2 pretty hot hitters on the bench.
No balls and a strike. Arcia lays off, able to check his swing, and it's 1-1. So that pitch count is a factor here for Ottavino. This is going to be number 27.
Yeah.
One ball, one strike. Arcia fouls it off, and it's 1-2 now.
Everything that Ottavino has been throwing is on the outside corner. He made the one mistake to Kratz. He fouled it off. Same thing, right center.
Again, the Brewers down to their last strike. Arcia hoping for a mistake. The 1-2, and Arcia in the left field. That's down, base hit. Braun's going to score. Kratz on his way to third. The throw comes in late. Arcia's into second. It's a 1-run game.
Wow, the hunch pays off. Wow. Orlando Arcia coming up big. Now the Brewers have the winning run at second. Good for him.
It's an RBI double. Bud Black on his way to the mound.
Well, he hangs the slider. He leaves it up in the zone. Orlando able to get on top of it off the end of the bat. And gets one down the line. Taking advantage of a big mistake. The hunch by Craig Counsell pays off. Wow.
That's the only way you can say it, because the numbers were not in their favor right there. Counsell believing in his young shortstop, and he delivers with 2 strikes. So Bud Black brings his entire infield up. Talking strategy here. Hernan Perez will pinch hit.
And be alive for the wild pitch.
A slow runner at third and Eric Kratz, but he'll be ready to move. Winning run at second. 4-3 Rockies, 2 outs in the 9th. Perez takes a strike. Hung one. Moustakas started it with a homer. The 30th pitch of the inning is on the way for Ottavino. Here's the 0-1. Way outside. It's back to the screen. Here comes Kratz. This game is tied.
Boy, the Rockies catcher having a miserable inning. Catches interference. A wild pitch on a strike 3, and now one gets by him to the screen. My goodness. Fastball way off the plate. Murphy not able to grab it. And Kratz comes around to score the tying run. Wow. A 3 spot, and they're not done.
Winning run at third. Here's the 1-1. Perez bunts. Oh, and it rolls foul. Wow.
Well, the Rockies got to be wondering what they have to do. They have been losing leads like this the entire trip. And the Brewers with a major comeback.
Another blown save. 4-4 game, 9th inning. Can Perez deliver that winning run? And of course, that wild pitch is in play.
And you know Murphy's thinking about it.
Arcia's got a good lead at third. Here's a 1-2 and a swing and a miss. A strikeout to end the inning, but how about the Brewers scoring 3 on a couple of gifts from the Rockies catcher. Arcia with a big hit, 2-strike double, drove in a run. And one that gets to the screen allows the tying run in. We are headed for extra innings at Miller Park. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of Extra Innings. Brewers are glad to get this one 2 extra innings. Moustakas got it started with the homer, and the Brewers scored 3 in the 9th. And now Corey Knebel is on to try to get the Brewers to the plate in the bottom of the 10th inning and a chance at another final at-bat win.
Yeah, Corey pitched last night, a scoreless 7th inning that included a strikeout. 35th appearance, a .386 earned run average for Corey. How about that inning?
I'm telling you what.
Kidding me? Talk about giving one away.
I mean, Tom Murphy, you hate to single out a particular player, but that was an awful display of catching there, and one he is certainly going to be crushed about on a number of occasions.
Catcher's interference, the wild pitch on the 3rd strike. Got to block it. There's no excuse not to block it, and then he lets one get by him.
It's that wild pitch, even the stance to set up like that. Don't mean to pick on a player, but that was a very fortunate inning for the Brewers to have that kind of result.
Yeah,
with not much action. That was a big hit. Now, I mean, not taking Ottavino off the hook either. Arcia comes up with a huge 2-strike double.
Well, how easy would it have been for Craig Counsell just to pull Arcia and send up Pena, Perez, those kind of guys, but he stuck with him and he came through. That's why he's the manager and we're the broadcasters.
I will be very anxious. Wow, Desmond hit that a long way foul, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I'll be very anxious to hear Counsell's comments after this game on that selection. I'm imagining that he knows how important Arcia is to this picture. And you only have 4 bench players to start with. You only had 2 left at that point. There's a swing and a miss. Knebel with a strikeout of Desmond to start the inning.
You know, the other thing is that how many managers would have pinched around for Kratz there? Maybe throw a pitcher out there. Maybe a guy can run a little bit better. He's stuck with Kratz, so he still has a guy available on his bench. That's Manny Pena. It all worked out for him in the 9th. Every decision that he made.
And now it's up to Knebel to try to get him to the bottom of the 10th, still tied.
And you know, the toughest decision sometimes is to do nothing and just let it ride, and that's what he was able to do.
Well, and I think maybe more importantly for a manager, not more importantly, but as important is being willing to take the questions and the criticism. Look at Moustakas knock it down. Recovers, throws in time. What a play! The Moose is loose at Miller Park.
Boy, even with the bag, you don't have a lot of range when you're that close, and a dive knocks it down and gets Parra. Check him out. He's on the grass. I mean, that's all reaction. Keeps it close, able to get up. Boy, what a play. I've seen some great third base play by Moustakas since he's come over here.
And that bench is fired up. 2 gone now. Here is David Dahl, who just arrived from AAA. Just put him on the roster in a transaction today. He is hitting for Tom Murphy. Curveball misses high. Looking ahead to the 10th inning for Milwaukee. Yelich, Thames, Moustakas, top of the order coming up. Two and 0 is the count, and Dahl takes ball 3. There's a strike. Seung-Hwan Oh is loosening in the Rockies pen. We saw him loosening earlier. He is camera left, number 18, the right-hander. And then they also have Scott Oberg. Swing and a miss. 3-2 now. Knebel has come back. from 3-0.
Let's see if he goes with a curveball here on a 3-2 pitch. When he's feeling it, he'll do that.
3-2, here it comes. Fouled it away. Just got a piece of a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Rev it up again. 3-2, 2 outs. And he lost him. 2-out walk. So the inning continues for Colorado. Ryan McMahon is going to pinch hit. This is the pitcher spot in the order. So Ottavino, after that long 9th inning, is out. And McMahon is in. Derek Johnson is on his way to the mound with a scouting report, the Brewer pitching coach.
Yeah, McMahon had a pinch hit double last night. Left-handed bat. Yeah, the Rockies started the day with 5 guys on their bench, 4 of them left-handed. Yeah, that's because Wade Miley started for Milwaukee, a left-hander.
Can close the book on Ottavino. He pitches the 1 inning, giving up 3 runs, 2 earned on a couple of hits. He did strike out all 3 for the outs in the inning.
How's John Gray feeling right now?
Man,
8 innings, outstanding baseball, not able to get the victory. Bullpen comes in and blows another.
Gray left this game after 8 innings with a 4-1 lead. Brewers got 3 in the 9th. 4-4 game, 2 outs in the 10th, and here is McMahon. And the runner Dahl takes off, cracks his throw to second base, and safe at second. Close one. That's a big steal for Dahl. And now the Rockies with a runner in scoring position. Good throw by Kratz.
Yeah, not a very, good jump. He had a good lead, but the jump a little bit slow. Yeah, swipe tag by Arcia, a little late.
Foot's on the bag, and the tag comes in late. Good call. Counsell is going to challenge this. Unlikely it's overturned unless there's something we didn't see on the back end of that slide.
Well, it was a swipe tag by Arcia, and he really didn't hold the glove on the runner, so he did come off. Let's see the foot. Does it come up?
Umpires are checking the big screen on the replays.
That's what I was looking at. Sorry.
It's okay. Everybody's looking at the big screen. Here's what they're looking at.
There you go. Let's see the foot on. Is it off? Let's see. I don't know.
There's nothing there. It's going to be a stolen base.
His hands there, the back foot, back legs on the bag. And if you're Craig Counsell, why not? You might see something in New York that we don't see.
I mean, they do have multiple angles. They also have angles from the Rockies television. Yeah, maybe if he got the hand on the pop-up, but didn't look like enough there to overturn it. We'll see. You never know. It's worth a try for Counsell.
Taking a while.
Yeah, I guess the longer it takes, the better it is for the Brewers. You can run on Knebel. He does allow a lot of steals. Here comes the result from New York. Safe is the call. Call stands. Not enough evidence to overturn. And so that tightens the screws a little bit now on Knebel. Pitch was called a strike. It's 0-1 to the batter McMahon. the pinch hitter, who was 3 for 22 as a pinch hitter this season. One of those hits came last night. There's a strike on a fastball. 0-2 the count now on McMahon. This is the guy that Knebel wants here. He's got Charlie Blackmon, an all-star, on deck. 0-2 the count. Go ahead, run at second. And McMahon chops one foul.
Left one down. Hittable. You saw Kratz, he wanted to pitch up.
Brewers score 3 in the 9th to tie it. A 2-out walk and a stolen base has the Rockies with the go-ahead run in scoring position. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Inning is over. Game still tied. Is the walk-off magic still alive at Miller Park? The Brewers got one on Friday night. They have 8 walk-offs this year. To the bottom of the 10th. Top of the order coming up. The Rockies score 3 in the 9th. 4-4 tie as we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Christian Yelich ready to lead off. Yelich, Thames, and Moustakas coming up, and Scott Oberg on the mound for Colorado.
Yeah, that first time he's appeared in the series. He pitched against the Cardinals in that series, an inning in the 3rd, give up a hit, a walk and a strikeout. Good numbers for Oberg, a .281 earned run average in now 32 appearances, and has only allowed 1 home run.
Tony Walters will come in to catch for the Rockies. New battery for Colorado. Figure O is getting loose. Had the Rockies taken the lead, he would have been their closer. And with the game tied, it is Oberg. And the Brewers trying to end it right here and now as Yelich pulls one, and it's through for a base hit. Christian Yelich with a leadoff single. His 2nd hit of the game. And there is the winning run at first base. And guess who's coming up?
And a guy with great speed. We'll see how aggressive Craig Counsell wants to be. He's got his lefties coming up.
Friday night, Eric Thames with the Brewers down a run. Down to their last out. Knew it from the moment it left the bat. 3-run walk-off home run for Thames. His 2nd career walk-off homer. He had a bunch of them in Korea in 3 years. 2nd in the majors. And he is up there with a chance to win it again.
I figure Bud Black has zero confidence in his lefties. We got 4 left-handers coming up in this inning, and he brought a right-hander in.
Thames is 0 for 4 today. John Gray was tough on Thames, tough on the Brewers altogether. A couple of strikeouts. Shift is on. Yelich with great wheels at first base. All 3 Rockies outfielders throw the ball exceptionally well, and they are all fast.
And they're all deep.
Hara, Blackman, and Gonzalez. Best arm out there is in right field, but they're all plus throwers. 1-0 outside, ball 2. Brewers are 5-1 against Colorado this year, trying to sweep them out of town. 2-0, hitters count. Thames had a good cut, fouls it back.
And Walter's not a bad throwing catcher. He's thrown out 9 this year, 9 of 28.
He is their best defensive catcher. But for Rockies fans, an inning too late.
Yeah, Christian Yelich, not a very big lead. Doesn't look like he wants to run.
That's what Thames is looking at with a shift. But as all power hitters say, they can't put a position player in the stands. Two balls and a strike on Eric Thames. And a swing and a fly ball in the right. Gonna hang up there for Gonzalez. And there is out number 1.
Yeah, took a little off there, had him out in front.
Now those aren't boos raining down. Those are moose calls for Mike Moustakas. That didn't take long. And Moustakas playing in just his 3rd game at Miller Park. His 2nd start here as a Brewer at Miller Park. Launched a home run out last inning to start the scoring in the comeback. There's a shot right off the foot of Oberg, going to the bag at second. Is Story, throw to first in time, and the shift got him that time. 6-3 double play to end the inning. Promising start. Oberg gets through it. We head to the 11th in a 4-4 tie. brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of Extra Innings. A 3-run ninth inning has sent us to extra innings. The Brewers come off the deck. Got a big hit from Orlando Arcia. Tying run came in on a wild pitch. Here we are in the 11th now. Corey Knebel is back out there for his second inning. And he'll have his work cut out for him now. Top of the order for the Rockies coming up. Charlie Blackmon leads off. On the ground to second base. Scope makes the play for the first out on one pitch.
Boy, 0 for 5 and a walk for Blackmon. 0 for 5 yesterday. Yeah, Brewers dodging a bullet getting that guy out in this series.
He is sitting on 999 career hits. But just one hit in the series. Here's DJ LeMahieu now. Last time Knebel pitched 2 innings in a game was in a 10-inning loss to the Cubs last year in September. Late season pennant race, day off tomorrow. This is the time to use him for 2. Bullpen is quiet.
Brewers still have 3 guys in their pen remaining. Yeah, Rockies have a ton. We got 6 guys left.
Knebel working a scoreless 10th. He had 2 Ks. Different class of hitter coming up in this inning, though, as LeMahieu takes a strike. Got Arenado due next. LeMahieu with 2 hits and a walk today. He's been on 4 times. Reached on a fielder's choice as well. He scored twice. All 4 Rockies runs driven in by Trevor Story, who is due up 3rd now. It's after Arenado. That'd be a hitter to avoid the way he's going. 3 balls and a strike on LeMahieu. There's a strike. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 3-2. Good opposite field hitter here in LeMahieu. Short stroke. 3-2 pitch, and down he goes. 99 with the fastball. Knebel comes back to get LeMahieu out number 2.
Yeah, the more he pitches, the more effective he becomes, and that's why Craig Counsell is going to use him a little bit more. Yep, right on the outside corner at 99 miles an hour. Good luck hitting that.
2 outs. Here is Arenado. Got to be careful on that first pitch with him. He is always ready to swing. And he takes his walks as well. He's the complete player. Offense, defense, high on base percentage, high slugging average. National League leader in slugging, as a matter of fact. 2 hits today for Arenado, both singles. His only 2 hits of the series. Had been 0 for 10 to start the series.
He struck out a couple of times today. How about one more? For a guy that has his power, he doesn't strike out much. 81 times coming in. Not bad.
He's able to lay off that. It's 3-0 now. Well, if there was ever a time to have a green light, it would be here. 3-0 the count. There's a strike. Right on the inside corner. Might have got a break.
Yeah, they tried to sell it, did Arenado.
Jumped out of the way. That almost hit me.
Jackknifed. Got the Rockies' best hitter on deck.
Story due next. Tie game at 4, 11th inning. 3-1. Arenado fouls it back. 3-2 now. Corey Knebel has a lot of confidence in his curveball. He'll throw it in any count. This will be interesting to see what he goes with here. 2-pitch pitcher. 3-2 the count. Here comes fastball, and Arenado sends it high and deep to left. Braun is looking up. This ball is gone. A home run. And the Rockies have taken the lead. 2 outs, 2 strikes. Arenado goes deep.
Yep, another fastball, big fastball. Looked like it was up and in. High towering shot out of here to left, right down the line. That's the pitch. Had a little bit too much of the plate, 98 miles an hour, and only question, was it going to hook foul? It didn't. And the Rockies take a lead.
7th home run allowed this year by Knebel. Here's Trevor Story now. He takes a strike. Rockies back on top, 5-4. Four of the 5 runs coming in on the home run ball. Story had the 3-run home run in the 5th inning. The Brewers will have Shaw, Braun, and Scope coming up in the bottom of the 11th. One and 2 now.
Yeah, the only run of the series that the Rockies were able to produce without the home run ball was Story's fielder's choice in the 9th. All the other runs, home runs. Amazing, isn't it?
And Story drove in 4 with a pair of 2-run homers yesterday. One ball, 2 strikes. And he got him. A strikeout to end the inning. But a big blow by Nolan Arenado. MVP candidate this year. He has given the Rockies the lead. Shaw, Braun, and Scope are coming up in the bottom of the 11th. Bottom of the 11th. Do the Brewers have another comeback in them tonight? Jang-Won Oh will pitch for the Rockies, the former Cardinal.
Yeah, he's been used quite a bit. 53rd appearance, 247 earned run average. Not a hard thrower. He mixes it up pretty well. He's given up 5 home runs. See more strikeouts than innings pitched. 57 punch-outs, 51 innings. Now, say what you want. I mean, about, you know, pitch selection, Corey, curveball, fastball, but you turn around 98 inner half. I mean, that's a hat tipper right there. Not many guys are going to be able to do that.
That Arenado home run had a launch angle of 46 degrees. That's how high he hit that thing. But got it on the barrel and knocked it out. Here's Travis Shaw. O is now in his 3rd year in the majors. He was a star in Korea and then Japan. 36 years of age. Shaw, base hit, left field. That's a way to start it. Travis Shaw with his 2nd hit of the game, and it's another leadoff single for Milwaukee. And here comes Ryan Braun.
Nice job by Shaw, not trying to pull it, trying to hit the home run. He serves one out into left field.
Ryan Braun with a couple of hits today. Reached on that catcher's interference in the 9th inning. That was a pivotal moment in the 3-run 9th. Had a stolen base in that inning as well. Braun with 2 steals, 2 hits, 2 out of 3. Tying run at first base. Winning run at the plate. Braun has some experience against O in his time with the Cardinals. 7 career at-bats. He's 1 for 7 against him. Braun does have one of the 4 walk-off home runs this year for Milwaukee. (5-4) Colorado. Travis Shaw with a leadoff single. One ball, one strike. O has 2 saves on the year. It's been Wade Davis most of the season. Ottavino, occasional usage as the closer. But O gets a chance here in extra innings as Braun breaks his back. Fly ball into center. And that'll be out number 1.
Yeah, O has given up 5 home runs this year. None as a Rocky. All 5 of the home runs he's allowed as a Toronto Blue Jay.
Here's Jonathan Scope. Scope in just his 5th game as a Brewer. Swings and right off the end of the bat, falling fast, down, base hit. Scope with a single. And now the winning run is on. 1st and 2nd with 1 out. Tying run moves into scoring position.
Well, bottom of the order coming up. This is where all the damage was done back in the 9th inning. Kratz reaching, Archie with the double. A little breaking pitch right off the end of the bat for Scope, and able to keep it in the hitting zone long enough to dump it in front of Blackman.
Big hit for Scope. 2 on, 1 out. Eric Kratz at the plate. Kratz with a big swing. Travis Shaw does not run well at second base. It is no guarantee on a base hit that he would score.
And the outfield really not that deep either.
All good throwing arms out there. No balls and a strike on Kratz. 0-2 the count. Kratz hoping for a mistake. 2 on, 1 out, the 0-2, and it's in the dirt. Good block back there by Walters. Sungwon-oh was the dominant closer in the KBO in Korea. That was the league that Eric Ames played in. And then he went to Japan for a couple of years and was a dominant closer there. He's used to these late game high stress moments. 1-2 pitch. Kratz, a ground ball over to second out there. A spin and a throw to first. Kratz is in there.
And check out that play at second base. I think the Brewers are going to take a look at it. Kind of a pirouette by Story. Interesting pivot over at second base.
How risky was that too, with the potential tying run around third.
Right.
But Black says he wants to challenge. I think the Brewers may want to challenge as well.
One of these instances where both managers might want to challenge.
Well, the out is.
That's a crazy looking play right there. I don't think, well, his foot wasn't on the bag, was it?
I think it was. We're gonna have to look at that again. I think the play in question is at first base. And let's see if he was able to keep his foot on the bag. It's in the glove, foot's on the bag, and
is it?
Is Kratz's hand on the base? Foot's definitely on the bag.
It looks like it right there, yeah.
This could end the game right here. And if it ends the game, this is going to be a heck of a play by the pitcher. Do not have a good feeling about this one, partner.
Well, you never know. It's got to be clear and convincing, but how many times have we said that and been surprised? Who knows?
And they're calling him out, and that's a ball game. Game is over on a brilliant double play. Nolan Arenado with a game-winning homer, and the Rockies salvage the final game of this series. And a game that ends with a challenge, an overturned call at first base. 5-4 the final. Brewers win the series but lose the finale. And now they'll enjoy an off day and get ready for the San Diego Padres. Time for Brewers Live. We check in with Craig Kishon standing by in Nelly's Corner. Craig?
All right, PA, what a battle by the Brewers here in this one. We'll look back at that 9th inning. Controversy ends the game. They go extras, but the Rockies finally get one here in Milwaukee. We'll talk about the next series coming up against San Diego as well. Plenty more on the way. Stay with us.